Hello, humans, and welcome to the very first talk show. As you can see, I have a little guest over there by my side. I'm gonna introduce him very, very soon. Uh, you start with scaring me? Galaxy, this is supposed to be a nice little stream where we're gonna talk and have fun, and you start with a scaring one? Well, I guess you wanna keep us on our toes. Thank you, I guess. So before I say hi to everybody, I hope you're well. I'm gonna quickly explain what this is. We talked about this on stream a while back. And Alex and I particularly got very excited about this because we're both neurodivergent in our own ways. And I've realized a lot of the people who follow me and I interact with are. So we're going to have a talk show where we talk about it and all the ways we are similar and different, and maybe even have some tips and pointers to those that that might help people. Disclaimer though, none of us are professional in this field. This is just our personal experiences. So I want everybody to keep that in mind. Okay, now we're going to introduce our guest and then we're going to say hi to you guys, okay? So without further ado, say hi to our little friend, my very favorite Alex. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
So,
Hello, everybody.
do you want to introduce yourself? Say who you are, where you're from. You know the drill.
Yeah, my name is Alex. Some of you might have seen me around in chat before, or maybe at my own channel. I'm from Sweden, just like Time. And I think that's me. I'm playing Pokemon games mostly, but yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. But before we start talking even more, we've had a little bit of a sound issues. Can you hear Alex okay? Is our sound balanced? Am I a lot louder or quieter than he is? And should we change that? Alex's volume is very low. Oh no, I have you on max.
Forget about that.
Oh no. Let's see if I can do this. What about now? Talk.
Am I still low or am I good?
Is it better now? Or did I, because I turned up the volume from the speakers and that's where I hear you, so better. Also, can you hear it through my speakers? It's not an echo or anything, is it? If it is, I'll have to wear headphones, which I don't particularly like, but I'll do it for you guys. Promise. Much better. Okay, good. If it changes in any way, let us know. Okay? So, let's say hi to everybody. Hi, Galaxy. Hi, Emily. Hi, Steel. Hi, who else did I miss? Crazy. Crazy's here. How you guys doing? Rex is here. Or Villa. I keep saying both of them. Welcome. Are you having a good day, everybody? I hope you are. Hi, Time and Alex and butterflies. Yes. Time, Alex, and butterflies. Neurodivergency. Yes, crazy. yes. That is what we are. That's what we're doing. I even planned out this in advance a little bit. I have a list of questions to keep us on track. So I'm gonna try to follow that. And we are also going to take questions and just general input and stuff from you guys, things that you have experienced when we're talking about specific subjects. So we're gonna try to read out stuff from you guys as well to keep you in the loop and keep you in the discussion, because this is a fun thing to talk about. Do you have anything you want to add before we start, Alex?
No, I think you covered everything.
Okay, let's do this then. We would introduce you. Your name is Alex. Do you want to? Yeah. Are you comfortable sharing your general age and general area of the world you're from, and sort of what you do for work or school? You don't have to be specific if you don't want to. Obviously, anonymity, is that a word? Is a thing. But what you are comfortable sharing with us?
Yeah, that's no problem. My full name is Alexander though, but most people just go with Alex, and that's what I'm mostly using as well. About my age, I'm close to 29, and I'm from Sweden, and I am studying at school at the moment. In a couple of years, I will be working as a sign language interpreter. It's going
Ooh.
to be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
And you are obviously a VTuber as well,
I
and you
am.
stream. Uh,
Yeah,
what's your usual thing you stream? And I mean, you already said that a little bit. I'm I'm going out of order. This is the first ever time I've tried to host our talk show, guys. So bear with me. Anything else you want to add about your VTubing thing and
um,
yourself?
well, I've been streaming for a couple of months now, and it's been going pretty fast, but it's really fun. We're playing mostly Pokemon games, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we do something else. Yeah,
Mm?
I think that's pretty much everything.
Okay. Sounds fun. Sounds fun. Pokemon is a very fun game. I've not played
Yeah,
enough Pokemon in my life. It's a shame, really.
I really should.
I really should. Someday in the future, I promise. um, let's see. Emily says, can we ask about anything? I mean, nothing inappropriate, obviously, and we do have the right not to answer any questions if we don't want to answer them. But within those rules, I suppose yes. Do you agree, Alex?
I agree.
Okay. And we'll try to read you guys' things as well, but we might not read anything other than like specific opinions and questions out loud, just to not get too sidetracked. Okay. We'll have a full chatting question thing pauses here and there. I hope you're okay with that.
Yeah. We have a good question from Villasaurus.
Do you want to read it out or should I?
I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So does Europe have a united sign language? Because in United States we have ASL. So is it ESL in Sweden? I'm not sure about that. As far as I know, every country has their own sign languages, and there is supposed to be one international one. That's pretty much what I know. So the sign languages is not the same in the world. It's all different.
That is a weird thing, though, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
since you can't hear it, and I guess written languages are different as well, but they had such an opportunity to make it a universal thing, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it might be on the way.
I hope so. That would be cool. Also, that would be
Yeah.
a way to, like, if people that can hear as well learn sign language, it would be like a way to you could communicate with other people without having everybody learning all the different kinds of languages. I think that would be a really cool thing to do. And I
Yeah,
wish
but
they taught it in school. Like, I know, I'm guessing it was the same for you, Alex, because we're both Swedish. That you could learn like either was it German, French, and Spanish or something in school. I wish you could have an option to learn sign language instead. I think that would be more useful, actually. That would have been so
that
cool.
that would be really great. Really,
Mm-hmm.
there is very few people who are speaking sign language that are not using it to communicate. So
Yeah,
I like working as a sign language interpreters. There are very few people.
think it would help a lot if everybody just at least know a little bit.
Yeah,
And it would also help like even like obviously it would help people hard of hearing, but also people that can hear in situations where you maybe you're somewhere where you should be quiet and you need to communicate, or where it's very loud and you can't hear each other. I mean, there's no downsides whatsoever to learning it.
exactly. And there's also people who are has autism that can communicate by
Yeah,
speech, and sign language helps them out a lot.
yeah, like non-verbal
So
people,
yeah,
and then you use sign language. Like again,
yeah,
no downsides. Could just help people, but yeah, they don't want to introduce that apparently. Maybe in the future. Let's hope.
that's something that's possible to work on. In just if somebody takes the first step
Mm-hmm.
to actually make it work, then it's at least one step. But who knows what the future will come with?
Yeah, let's hope for the best. I think, considering the world is slowly becoming more accepting of people that are quote unquote different than quote unquote I like to call it mundane rather than the norm because it sounds better.
Yeah.
Then maybe one day we can get there. And speaking of nonverbal and leading to autism and other things, what this is such a weird question. What do you have? And when were you diagnosed? Like, how long have you known? And what exactly was it, or is it, or etc.?
That's a good question, actually. As far as I know, I have Asperger's syndrome or autism, as it's called today. I might have ADHD, but I haven't really cared about to find out if I actually have it or not. I got my diagnosis around the age of 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, that's
So
young.
that's quite young. Yes, that's really early. So I have had a lot of time to get to know my diagnosis and find out who I was. But I guess you'll never really find everything out ever.
No, I think if you found everything out about yourself, life would become very boring. But that's like really good. That's like the opposite of me. I was diagnosed and discovered like my autism and ADD when I was like late 20s. I don't remember exactly which age, but like I had no idea as a kid, and I feel like it would have helped my life a lot knowing. It's like you could adjust your life from a young age, or like, did
Yeah.
you feel like you would like different because of it? Like, was it a bad thing knowing, or do you like that you've known for so long?
Well, both bad and good, I guess. Um, when I was in preschool, somebody found out, and then they found it a good reason to start following me and such. But then, yeah, not everything has been great having it from early age, really.
Yeah, it has its ups and downs. I
Yeah,
know you told me you had a teacher that was being really, well, to put it mildly, were an asshole
yeah,
about it.
yeah. He was a real asshole. He literally told me that I wouldn't become anything at all. I wouldn't be successful in anything really. So I told one of my teachers that I have now, and he was like furious, and that teacher should be killed. Not literally, but yeah.
Yeah,
So he's that kind of teacher. You don't say that to your students. You're
no.
supposed to lift your students' dreams up and encourage them to actually go forward and tell them, believe in them, that they can do everything they put your mind into.
Yeah, I
And
mean, why would you otherwise
that's
become a
literally
teacher
true.
if you didn't care about the children's future, you know?
Exactly. Well, nobody liked that teacher. So,
Yeah, I'd
and
be surprised if they did. I'm glad you have a good
no,
teacher now, though, who seems like a better person.
yeah, the teachers I have now are fantastic, really. I wouldn't want to change them out this time. So
That's good. Um, I
this
just want to
one
add a
lives.
side note. If anyone hears a weird noise in the background, that is my cat snoring. Please ignore it. I can't control her. Just in case you hear a weird noise, you know what it is. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
um,
Well,
so
no,
keep going. Yes.
yeah. Now I have teachers who believes in all of their students' dreams. There's no dream too big or too weird. They really encourage you to actually try it out. And if it doesn't work in the end, at least you have tried.
That's a
And you
very
never
good way
know
to look at it.
exactly. You never know what you can do unless you have tried it.
True. And that, I mean,
So
that's not one of the weird things that I agree with that, but change scares me so much that I could never really follow that myself, but I still encourage other people to do it. Because
yeah,
it's a way I would love to live. It feels like you just get to experience more, you know?
yeah. Well, I've never been scared of trying new things. Unless, well, I shouldn't be lying about that. There is a couple of times where I'm actually quite, am I really supposed to do this? But then I learned, hey, don't think too much about it. Just do it. Just try it. You might actually end up loving it.
That's a really good way to look at things. I'm gonna try to adopt a little bit of that because my mind is usually like, okay, why change if I like the way things are? Why change something that is working? So
Well,
we're quite
there's some
opposite there.
truth in that. There's actually truth in that.
Tilly, quiet. Uh, Also, we had something in chat that I wanted to read. Also, how well acknowledged, accommodated are neurodivergent diagnosis in Sweden? Like, if you tell people you have autism, Asperger's, or ADHD, ADE, do they tend to understand on average? I think this experience is very varied between people, but generally, I've found that ADHD and ADD is very accepted these days. Like, for the most part, people
Yeah.
understand mostly what it is, and it's not such a, I mean, some people probably still have a negative reaction to it, but most people will be like, oh yeah, I know what that is. That's okay. Me though, I mean, I have both ADD and autism, and I do hesitate telling people about the autism because I myself had a lot of like um, wrong opinions about it before I knew I had it because I hadn't been educated about what it was actually, and that means I assume other people might think the same and wouldn't want them to judge me based on their prejudices, you know?
Well,
Um,
there is actually quite a lot of prejudice against autism because when they hear the word autism, they just think, oh, this is a mute one, or that one is quiet, that one is really good in math, or that guy can never learn
they just
anything.
think the more extreme version, the visual versions that
Yeah.
neurotypical people tend to notice. And it's just, I mean, that is definitely a part of it, but it's so much more which people don't know.
Yeah. The
Um,
high school I went to was specialized in only autism, so only
oh,
students who had autism were allowed to go there. And
wow.
that was actually quite interesting because we all had the same diagnosis, but no one worked exactly the same
Yeah.
at all.
I think that's also a
And
more common misconception that just because you have Asperger's or autism, then you automatically share everything and your difficulties with everybody else that have the same diagnosis, and that is not true. I mean, a lot of things you can relate to, but we are definitely all different.
yeah, and about the math thing, many people think that autism are genius in math, but that's a big lie.
Yep.
I'm not a genius in math at all. I actually really struggle until I find out, oh, this is how to do it. Okay, now it's like a puzzle. But I'm not a calculator at all.
No. I used to
I
be.
struggle with math.
Oh, so I have a tendency to interrupt when I get excited about something. That's an ADD thing. We'll get to that later. But do shush me if that happens. I will not be upset if I interrupt you and you want to finish what you're saying. Just say shush, and I'll be
Only if you do the same, because
okay.
I might have that same tendency to do that. So
Yeah. Also, I have a tendency to forget sometimes what we're talking about in the middle of it. So please remind me if I go. Okay.
well, in that case, we both have that problem.
We'll I have like I said a list, so we'll get to more specific things later on. But it's interesting to see how like our life were different depending, like considering you knew from such a young age and I didn't, because I've always noticed that I was different, and I have dyslexia as
Yeah.
well, and some things, especially with the ADD and like focusing and learning, is very similar. So I always assumed like, oh, it's the dyslexia, or I'll grow out of it, and then I didn't, and I'm like, something's wrong with me. And it was very nice knowing this sounds so weird, knowing that something is quote unquote wrong with me, because then it wasn't my fault, but that things didn't really
Yeah.
work out. Have you felt that way? Like you, because to me it's like it's nice knowing like it's not that I'm not trying, it's that I have to do it differently so that I don't feel so worthless. You know, like I'm failing. Do you feel that way,
Mm.
or do you feel like Because I know that's a very different thing from different people. Some people like to have it something like a cause or something to like not blame it on, but like a reason. And some people see it as a bad thing. How do you see it?
I don't know really. It's I'd say my autism has been in a kind of different stages during my time of growing up. Some people seem to believe that you can grow out of your autism, but that's not
Oh.
really true, because you can train a lot with how to do certain things. But some things take a lot of time, like maybe you have to redo something about 5 times, maybe 10 or 20, or maybe just might never really get the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
But well,
Yeah, and then masking is a thing. So people
yeah,
might think you're handling things well, but behind the scenes you're really not. And
exactly.
yeah, and like you learn that some behaviors are accepted and some are not, and then you adjust.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't
Some
mean you stop
things,
struggling with it. That's just you
well,
struggle with it quietly instead.
some things you learn the very hard way, really.
Mm.
So, but what most people doesn't seem in social is when a person with autism finally gets home to where they safe, they safe place. At home, it can be literally chaotic, or you just lose all the energy that you had to put to being social with people. And then you go home and you just collapse down in the bed and you don't want to do anything else
Yep.
because there's no more energy.
Mm-hmm. I've
It's
yeah,
like,
same for me. I recognize
yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah.
like a battery. You have to charge your
Mm-hmm.
batteries.
Yeah.
And uh, for some people, it might look weird in the ways that you might charge your battery. For some people, it might be you just go to sleep. But for others, it's like the interest that you love to do the most. It
Mm-hmm.
was give you the energy to keep going. You
Mm-hmm.
have to find something that you really love to do, because that's a way to relax. Because I know what I'm doing. I can do it in my own way, and a really strange way for me to learn how to act in social experiences, I guess. I played a lot with Legos when I was a kid. My mom never understood why these little guys were standing out in a certain places. Well, in my head, they had a purpose, but she never understood why or
Mm.
how. So for me, it was like, oh, if I tried this and this, what would this guy feel and what would she feel like? And I guess it actually worked in the end.
Mm. That's good. Before
So
we continue, I've noticed we have give the guest a gift twice, so we will do that, and then we have I accidentally grew up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Oops. um, and I think there are some people that had a few things maybe they wanted to say. We could read out. Also, hi Lowen and Road, and did I miss anyone else? But hello, welcome. Do you mind? Do you want to read out the stuff while I give you a gift?
I can do that.
Okay, good. Then I'll give you a random little
Um,
gift.
is Tilly a honk shoe or a honk me me me?
A what?
And I guess that's the question for Tilly.
What was the question for Tilly?
Is Tilly a honk shoe or a honk me me me?
Wait, I have to read this. What? Is Tilly a? Oh, I have. I'm sorry. Still, I have no
I
idea
think
what
it's
that is.
about snoring.
It's about what?
Snoring. Tilly is
Snoring.
snoring.
Oh. Oh. I don't know. All of it? All of it? I don't know.
And I see Louine in the chat. Hello. And how do you know you have ADHD without getting a diagnosis? And that's a good question. I guess when you know what the diagnosis is about and how it works, you might just feel, oh, okay, I recognize this. But you actually have to go and get the diagnosis to actually know that you have it. I just haven't really had the energy to actually care about going to put it on a paper, because I don't feel like I need that, because I work perfectly fine without knowing. So
That's an
I
interesting
might
thing,
have,
because
or might not.
about sorry, read those things first, and then I'll say the thing about having a diagnosis versus not, because me and my brother have been talking about that for a while, but finish reading the stuff first.
Yeah. Hello, kitty. That's adorable. All right. Now let's see. What do we have? To be a neurodivergent is not having something wrong with you, though. And to be fair, it's possible to rewrite your brain to cope with ADD and ADHD differently, which can make it feel like you're growing out of it.
Like which
Okay.
one? I really can't listen while I do something else. That is also a neurodivergent thing. Sorry. Let's not try to make me do things and listen at the same time from now on, okay? One thing at a time. Did you read the thing wrote right? Speaking hard.
Well, I'm reading the comments.
Just trying to figure out which one you were at.
I'm reading from Road GG.
Okay, yeah, then I was at the right place. Oh, rewrite you. I think that depends a lot on the person, and what you have difficulties with. I think that's a very individual thing, and I think you're half right. I think it's very individual when it comes to like getting over your symptoms and stuff like that, because something like I usually call what I have like invisible autism, because like if you just looked at my life from the outside, you would not assume that I struggle with a lot of things, but I have assistants that come 3 times a week to my house and helps me with things. Like they don't do things for me, but you know that little voice in your head that tells you need to go do the dishes or you need to clean. I don't have that motivation. I don't have that start button. So they're here and they hang out with me, and I just cook and they talk with me while I do it so that I get things done. And you wouldn't assume that if you didn't know that I had help with that. Like they don't physically do it for me, but they're my start button, and it helped my life so much. And again, you wouldn't assume that because you don't see it. And that's my like one way. I haven't gotten better at doing those things. I've just found tools to help me with it, you know?
I understand exactly what you're saying. Not that many people know that I live in a place where I had people helping me out 7 times a day. No, not a day, a week. But I really felt bad there. I really didn't like their routines or anything at all, because it never worked out my way in a way. So when I left to study, I decided I want to try to see if I can manage on my own, like I really wish to do. But sometimes, well, like you say, the motivation isn't always there.
Yeah.
Because schools take a lot of energy, especially when I have math, because that takes a lot of brain work to figure out, okay, what is this? Or, okay, I have a test today when there's national tests in English, for example. They might give me like 5 sheets of tests that I'm supposed to go through, that I'm supposed to pass. And after I completed those, I'm completely out of energy. I'm like going to bed to sleep at least an hour before I can function again.
Yeah. I mean, you really, like, I usually try to use visual representations because it's usually easier for people to get. But I usually say, like, most people start the day with a full...
Murder time, time to commit some murder.
I haven't committed a murder. Oh my god, you scared me. Thank you, B. Oh my god. Oh, that threw me off. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe we should actually, for the next talk show, disable a lot of those things to keep on track maybe a bit more. I don't know. We'll think about that. What was I talking about? Right. Most
think
people start the day
energy
with like a full bucket of energy, but my bucket has holes in the bottom of it. So I start the day with half a bucket and it's continuously draining water by just existing. And that doesn't happen for neurotypical people normally. They need to do something specific to drain their energy. So just showering for one day is like, that's it, I'm cooking tomorrow, you know? I have to pick carefully what is worth the energy that I have because it's very limited. And I think that's one thing that most people with a neurodivergent diagnosis have in common is that we always have less energy to work with. It has to be, and like, and especially like if you don't know you have something, then it's very hard to choose what is worth your energy and what is not. And that's why people get burned out and feel so bad most of the time. You don't know why you're feeling tired all the time, you know?
sounds perfectly normal to me, though.
If we're
And
both neurodivergent, of course that sounds normal.
to me, everything, something like this, just feels so normal because, well, that's life,
Yeah.
the life that I know.
Mm-hmm.
For me, right now, I'm using all of my energy, most hand on school. I didn't have that kind of energy when I was at school before, but that's another history for how my school time were before I went to what we call in Sweden folkhögskola, which is another chance to study and a different way to study as well.
Yeah, I've
And
gone to folkhögskola as well, and I think they're slower. So
yeah,
they're like, you do have a chance to do things your own way and learn things maybe not the way standard school expects you to learn it. So you can actually adapt it to the way you process information,
yes,
which helps a lot. And usually the teachers are a lot more understanding, which is nice.
definitely. And most teachers at these schools have met at least one person with autism, and some of them have they know what they're doing and they can adapt the way you need to learn, and they're really good. They have experiences, and
Mm-hmm.
it's less people in the class.
That as
It's
well.
like maybe at most 5 students at the same time, or at most we were 20 people in the class when we started, but we never studied the same subject at the same time. So the teachers has enough time to actually pay attention to certain student who needs the help more. If you need more help, then you will get that. And I can count on one hand how many teachers I had in math that had actually liked and understood what I said. The one I have now, he's a genius. He
Sorry, I
tries to
thought you
find
said
new ways.
genie. Sorry, keep going.
No, he's a genius because he tries to find a way to explain until I finally get it. And that's not many teachers that have been able to do that. And that's really good. It's a good quality for a teacher to keep finding new ways until the students get the hang of what they're supposed to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lack in Sweden, really. Good teachers is a big lack of those, but there's really many good as well. But most of them are just, oh well, that student won't understand anyway. I'm not going to give them any time
Yeah, I
to
think like
catch
it's
up
been a
or anything.
while since I was in school now, like 15 years or something. So I think things have probably changed a lot. But
Yeah,
yeah, I like, I mean, I got a lot of help from my dyslexia because I knew about that since I started school, like extra time on tests and stuff like that. But I never got like I could space out very easily in school, and then I can really do my homework and stuff, or I got bored. I remember because I wasn't like autistically good at math, but I understood math. It made sense to me, especially since I struggled with like languages. It was logical. I felt
yeah,
like a Vulcan. Like it made sense. It's logical. So I was pretty good at math until you had to learn it quicker. Um, but I remember like I just I got so bored with it because I had to do the same equations over and over. And it's like, I understand this concept. Can I just move on? And then it seemed like I was worse at it than I was, because I just didn't want to repeat the same task. Because my ADD was like, no, we need new stimuli, whatever it's called. And my brain was like bored rather than not understanding. And the teachers did not get that. They just thought I was lazy. And like, I'm still unlearning that trait, because like, I convinced myself I was lazy for my entire life. And I still worry that I am. And I can be lazy, like everybody can be lazy, but there's a difference between occasionally being lazy and being a lazy person. And I wasn't, and I'm not. I just have limited energy, you know?
Yeah. I really like math, depending on who the teacher is and if I understand what I'm supposed to do in the book. I learned lately that I have to repeat the task in the book if I want to pass the test, because I tend to forget what I was supposed to do. And when I am repeating the same thing over and over and over, I get bored. I do them once, and then I don't want to see them again. The last test I had, I barely passed it. I passed, but that one actually made me anxious a lot, because I really had a hard time with it. So, but I'm happy that I'm through with that. And this last test that I'm preparing for now, this part in the math book is actually the easiest thing I've seen in ages.
Why? Why is it easier?
Well, I don't know really, because it might be because I learned this thing early in the book, but this little certain parts of the math book, it's just statistics, or I don't know how to say it that well, but it's kind of easy. Just I think it's my kind of math. Really.
I get that. Like, different math are easier or more difficult depending on like
the
structure, kind
of.
of.
Some parts are easier and some parts are no, thank you. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Oh my God, Arc. Oh my God, thank you for the bits. Wow, thank you so much. And wow, and also welcome to the chat. We also had another person in chat. Let's see, that I forgot to say hi to. Paint 2D. Hi, welcome. I forgot to say hi to you. And we are skimming through and reading what you're writing. We just have a hard time reading it all, out loud. Stuff. Oh my God, Arc, stop it. Thank you. Shit, that's thank you. Wow. Don't ask why it adds up to 97. Why does it add up to 97? You can ask me why not to ask something, and then I ask it. Thank you so much. Hopefully you're enjoying our little chat. I got sidetracked now. What were we talking about, Alex?
I don't know. I lost that too.
Okay, well, maybe then that's a good idea to move on a little bit.
Yes.
Because I wanted to, because for those that don't know a lot about ADD and autism, there's something like, there are some things between the two that are very similar. Like stimming, for one, is something that both do. But then there are things that are completely opposite. For example, autism tends to want a lot of structure and routine, whereas ADD, ADHD don't want that. Then you usually want change and new impulses, new what's it called? New stimuli?
New things to do.
New input from things. So in that way, they're quite opposite. But they're also like, I remember when I was diagnosed with autism, there's like 4 criteria that you have to have like at least 2 fully and then partly of the other 2. And they are stimming, special interests, problems with change and stuff like that, and then social interactions. And then within both of them, but I think it's even... Actually, within both of them, it's like sensory issues. that can be like completely illogical, but that makes life difficult. And I'm being very structured right now, checking my list. And I thought maybe it would be interesting to talk about those different things and see what ways we are similar and what you guys in chat can relate to and not. Because I realize this is also very different, even though you have the same diagnosis, it can vary a lot. And maybe even some of us, like either Alex or I or you in chat, have even some like tips and tricks to help overcome some of these issues. Because like we said before, you don't like grow out of having a diagnosis, but you can find workarounds for a lot of stuff. And I think that this could be one of those situations where we could learn a lot from each other. I've watched a lot of videos of people with different diagnoses and like, oh, so this is the thing, I'll try this. One of those things is that I am very sensitive to strong minty flavors or even mild minty flavors. So brushing my teeth has been really difficult all my life. But then someone suggested that I switch to children's toothpaste, which is like a fruity flavor, and suddenly like it's so much easier to brush my teeth. And I wish someone would have suggested that like 10 years ago. So like that's a sensory issue that had an easy fix that I did not know about because I didn't consider it. And I think there's a lot of stuff like that.
Well,
do you have...
I used to hate toothpaste for adults, but the dentist forced me to stop using the children's.
Sorry, can you say that again? I think it cut out.
I used to hate the adult, the minty toothpaste. I tried to stay on the children's toothpaste ones for a long time, but the dentist really forced me to not do it.
Oh, no, that's bad.
Stop using the children's one.
I mean, there's less what I call floor. I don't know if that's called in English. The thing that actually protects your teeth in the children's one. But I figured I brush my teeth longer and more often if I use the children's toothpaste than I do with the other one. I mean, I can avoid brushing my teeth with the mint one. So I figured in the long run, I'll take better care of myself if I use the children's one.
That makes sense to me, actually.
Yeah, like brushing my teeth twice a day was an impossibility before. It's starting to become a reality, slowly but surely.
Well, it makes sense to me, at least. So I don't really have the problem with the minty taste that much, but the smell of mint in itself, if it's too strong or too much, I can feel like, oh, I don't like this. Can I walk away, please?
Yeah.
Something like that.
For me, it's just like it becomes so strong that my mouth hurts. It gets like cold. You know how spicy food gets, but this is a little bit like it gets hot. This gets cold, and it literally hurts my mouth. I can't.
But minty taste and mint in itself, it's a kind of cold flavor. So I think I could ask my teacher about it, like I mentioned my science teacher. But I think there's something about mint in itself that makes it feel cool.
So it was cool? Like you mean cold or cool as in...
Yeah, cold.
Okay, just make...
Cool. Feel cool. Well, that's what I believe, though.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Yeah. Do you have any other like specific sensory issues? Because it can be like sound, smell, touch.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I can't stand heat. If it gets over like 22 degrees Celsius outside, I'm like, nope, no, thank you. It's too hot. 25 is horrible. 30 is unbearable. But I can deal with like 15 minus. I mean, it's cold, but I'd rather have that. And I know that's pretty unusual.
That's definitely me. I live up in the mountains right now. So I've grown quite accustomed to, or I feel more comfortable with the cooler or cold climate. But I like when it's warmer outside, but not too warm, just so I can walk outside without jackets and maybe wear shorts. But when it's too hot, I'm like, no, I don't like it.
Yeah, my brain kind of just shuts down when it gets too hot. It's like I literally have a hard time thinking, and like this is like maybe TMI, but like I sweat so much and it makes me so
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Like it makes me feel gross wherever I am. And this is also
Yeah.
like, now I'm speaking hard. I am moving over maybe into a different subject, but I am
Yeah.
also, and I've noticed this is not a something neurotypical people do, which I thought was a normal thing that everybody did, but I am constantly aware of my own body when I'm in the presence of other people. Like being perceived by other people makes me feel like I'm on camera 24/7. And it takes so much energy just being outside of the house. And if then I feel gross or sweaty, then that multiplies. So like just being outside around people makes me self-conscious. I'm not like self-conscious in like I love myself and I'm pretty confident as a person. It's just like being perceived by people makes me, it's hard to explain. Does anyone relate to that? It's just me. Like I always feel like I have to like be aware of how I'm standing, how my face looks, where I put my hands. Like if I'm sitting down, do I cross my legs, or do I like where do I put my arms on my hips or my legs? Like how do I move? Like I constantly think of every choice I make when I'm in the presence of other people.
I
Is
can
like,
relate to that.
and that's not something neurotypical people do apparently. They just exist.
Well,
And I'm like, how can you not be aware of yourself?
I wonder if the people that wrote that thing has asked every single living autistic people.
Sorry,
Because
could you say that again? I think you cut out a little bit.
I wonder if they has asked anyone, like literally everyone who has autism or anything, any kind of diagnosis about that, because I always feel uncomfortable if I'm sweaty or looking in a different way. I'm worried if I smell bad. How do I smell? Like
Yeah, you
something
think
like
so
that.
much about like your presence, and
Yeah.
I thought everybody thought like that, and then I watched this. I think it was a girl about my age did a YouTube video where she talked about like things she realized after she got her diagnosis, and she was sitting down for an interview and she was like, I'm constantly aware of how I'm looking right now. I'm like, wait, you're telling me that's not normal? That people don't usually do that? And apparently that's the thing. I mean, not everybody, but some like autistic or neurodivergent people do, and I'm one of them. And it just makes it's not it, and it's different from being like having social anxiety, because that's not it. It's just an awareness that I don't have when I'm on my own, to a different
I'm.
degree than neurotypical people.
I just say it's a way to be, because that's pretty much what autism is like. It's not a disability in a way. It's more like a way to be.
I mean, yeah.
Because most people thinks it's a disability before they get to know the person, and they think that you cannot do that. Don't do that. You will break it. No, I know exactly what I'm doing, because someone with autism might actually be really, really like really good in a certain thing, because it's what they specialize into. It might be their special interests, and with that they learn literally everything that there is to know about a certain thing. Like a toaster, if it breaks, well, this autistic person might actually know everything about a toaster and knows exactly how to fix it, exactly how it's supposed to work, and something like that. Because they can, some of us are quite fast learners and some takes longer time, and there's different areas where you're slower at learning something and other areas when you learn really fast, because when you are interested in the subject that someone is about to teach you, well, you learn it quite fast because, whoa, I like this. I want to know more.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's a very, I think that's both in autism and Asperger's and ADD, but in
Yeah.
different like in different intensities. But like being interest driven is like a real thing, and I don't think people, neurotypical people, understand the level of passion you can have for something and how much that can motivate you. Like, it's same with like if you're not interested, it can completely like remove all motivation from your mind.
Yeah.
But like you're so you're really like interest driven. That's a big thing.
Motivations are really important.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, really.
Yeah, I always used to. Sorry, keep talking. Sorry, I'm not gonna interrupt.
No, it's fine. You talk.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Poof.
That's actually relatable to me.
That happens a lot for me.
I can talk about something, and in the next second, I forgot what I said.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can literally hold a conversation, and then in mid-sentence, I'm like, It's like, you're in The Sims, and you can just cancel The Sims action, and they just stop dead. That's me. I feel like I'm a character in The Sims, and someone's controlling me and just trolling me.
I don't know about you, but sometimes I have been asking myself, what if this real life is the actual Sims game? Then there's somebody controlling us playing this game.
It does feel like that sometimes.
Yeah, because you can play Sims in Sims.
True.
Literally.
Mm-hmm. So what if we're the ones, in there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Payne said it's almost impossible for them to do anything they're not interested in, and
exactly.
I feel that is Mm-hmm. I always said when I was younger that, like, which I didn't understand then, and people didn't understand then, but like that I have to have interest in common with the person I end up in a relationship with, because otherwise how would I be interested in them? Same with jobs. It had to be something I'm passionate about, because how would I ever otherwise be able to go to a job every single day if I don't like it? It made no sense to me.
I pretty much given up the hope of at least searching for someone to live with, because I'm quite happy alone. But then again, it would be nice to have a partner, but that's nothing that I'm really using a lot of energy into doing, because if I meet someone that's right to me, then that day will happen. But that's not. I don't really look for somebody to live with.
Yeah, I can feel that way. Like, I've been living on my own for the last over 10 years. And at this point, like, even if I do find someone like the love of my life and we get married and everything, I'm like, so do you want to live separately, maybe? Like, you can live across the hall in an apartment complex, but like, I need my own space. And that's also like, I've said that since I was like, I don't know, 10, that I wanted my own room in my future home, that I could have a lock on the door where it's like, this is my space where I can exist without being perceived by anyone else. And my mother was like, but that, I mean, you might feel like that now, but that's not realistic. And I'm like, I still feel like that way. I want my own space.
It is realistic.
So I think that's the thing.
I wouldn't be able to share a room in a dorm with someone.
No, that's a nightmare.
Able to be alone. I have to be alone, because if I don't have a space to go to, then I wouldn't function the next day.
Yeah, same. That's the only way I truly relax is by being on my own, physically and mentally.
Yeah.
And I mean, this could be also because like I don't miss people in the way that neurotypical people miss people, and that doesn't mean I don't like people. I just like, when you're not here, I forget you exist. But that doesn't mean I don't like you,
Exactly.
You get what I mean?
Pets might be the only exception
to
being alone, because I had pet rats and a hamster before, and not at the same time. Well, I had a hamster and 3 rats at the same time, not in the same cage.
So could you say that again? I couldn't catch everything.
Yeah. I had pet rats and a hamster before, a long time ago, and they were my family, literally, because they never judge you. They love you no matter what. because you feed them, you love them, and they love you the same. I haven't had any pets in a while now though, but I am really sure that I will be getting new rats once I'm done with studying. Um, the bad thing about rats is that they don't live that long. But in another way, I won't be locked at home for that many years. So, but I still love rats no matter what. They're like real small, adorable cute potatoes.
Yeah, my sister had
A lot of
rats when
energy.
we were kids,
Yeah,
and they were so cute. But
I know.
they also they were so smart. They knew they weren't allowed to do
Yeah,
something, but they also knew that when she wasn't looking, they could do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but they were so cute.
If you left anything too close to the cage, they would find a way to drag it in, literally.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Like if you left a blanket like 30 centimeters away from the cage, they will find a way to get it in there, even if they're locked in the cage.
Mischievous
They will
little
find a way.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what I love so much about rats.
Yeah, they're very
They find
smart.
their way. Yeah, very. And they're so lovable. And the way when they eat, they are holding the food in their little paws and looks like hands, and it's the cutest thing ever. So about 2 years ago, I decided I have been meaning to to do a tattoo for my pets that's passed away.
Oh.
And so I did, but I can make it bigger. I can do more work on this tattoo later for any pet that I decide to get later on
Oh,
that
that
I
sounds
have
nice.
on my own. Yeah. So I thought that I had gotten over them, but not until after I got this tattoo. I thought, okay, now I have accepted that they're not with me on Earth anymore. So, but I still carry them with me, literally anywhere. So I can look down on my arm and I have my family, my children with me
Oh,
anywhere.
that's really sweet. I
Yeah,
know a friend of mine, she had a tattoo of her dog.
yeah.
She was really sweet. I don't, yeah. I don't think I'd
I,
ever get picture tattoos, but symbols for things probably. I like more symbolism personally, but you know,
yeah,
everybody's different. I think it's really
yeah.
sweet.
I'm planning to do more tattoos, but it will take years.
Sorry, I couldn't
A
hear the
student
last
in
thing you said.
Yeah, I will get more tattoos in the future, but it will be a couple of years until then.
Yeah,
Um,
as I understand it, they're quite
students in
expensive.
students in Sweden aren't that very rich people, literally.
No, I don't think students anywhere are rich. Unless
No,
they're like on a scholarship and or like their parents are paying
yeah,
for it and they have rich parents.
but in a good way, that's how you learn how to handle a small amount of money,
True. I think
and you
it's healthy
know
to
that
be poor at least once in your life.
you don't need to be rich to be happy. Money doesn't buy happiness.
I mean, um, I disagree. I think in this day and age, money does make life easier, and
Yeah,
easier life can make you happier. Then, of course, there's a
yes,
limit, and like you shouldn't have millions of dollars, but like having a really, really good salary will make your
yeah.
life easier, and then you can be happier.
Yes,
So, yeah.
money is good to make life easier,
Mm.
but
But then, when if you already have enough to like not have to worry about money, at that point you're fine.
exactly,
You don't have to be like rich, rich, you know?
exactly. I know if I
Except if
would
I
have
was
one
rich,
money,
rich, I could spoil all my friends and just
yeah,
commission a bunch of art and stuff. That would be the dream.
uh,
Oh, I'd be so
I
happy
know
if I could do that.
I know exactly what I'd do if I won a million Swedish crowns one day.
What
I
would you
would
do?
probably use it all on education on folkhögskolor, different
Oh,
schools in Sweden, because there's so many courses that I'm interested in, but that I won't be able to pay for because we have in Sweden, for those who don't know, we have a way to take a student loan for study loan, but we can't loan as much as we want to, and then we will of course have to pay it back for the rest of our lives. But
Yeah, but we don't have to like. I don't think anyone's ever been in debt because of it, because you like there's no time limit, and if you
No.
don't have it, and then the amount you have to pay back is based on your economic situation. So it can be anything from like, okay, this year you don't have to pay anything, and the next year you'll have to pay a lot depending on what money you make, you know. So that's good.
Yeah, it's good, but you can't have as much as you want, or you can only study for an amount of years. Then you will have to pay back,
Yeah,
and
that's
you
true as well.
won't be able to get new loans
Mm-hmm.
for that.
That is true.
I would definitely do all the courses that I'm interested in. That's what I would spend a million Swedish crowns
I
on.
mean, they say knowledge is power, so that is a
Yeah.
good thing to spend your money on, I think.
Yeah. What would you do if you had
A million
won a
Swedish
million?
dollars is
Yeah.
also a million Swedish is like way less than $1 million, by the way.
It's about 100
My dishwasher is done.
million, $100,000, I think.
Yeah, I
Something about
would
that.
um um I would probably help my brother buy the house he's living in now because he loves it so much and is renting. Probably buy an apartment for myself, and then that's probably it. I probably won't have more money after that.
That's actually really nice. A 1 million Swedish crowns won't last forever or
No,
for
it's
much in Sweden.
and in
Because-
this day and age, that amount of
Yeah.
money isn't that much. I mean, you really won't get that much for it.
You won't get a house for that.
No, you
Mhm.
won't. Actually, I
Unless
couldn't
you
have.
find something really
To be fair, then I
cheap.
couldn't buy my brother that house. Oops.
No, you can barely buy an
No.
apartment in Stockholm for that.
I
much.
could get an apartment for myself. Actually, I'd
Yeah,
probably
you
just
could-
put it in a savings account and then have it as backup in case my life goes to hell.
Yeah.
Or if I have to like fix my
could,
teeth because that's expensive and stuff like that. If Tilly gets sick.
You could get one of the smallest apartments. You could buy one of the smallest apartments ever.
I mean, it
in
also depends
Stockholm
on where
for
you live,
that.
because apartments can
Yeah.
vary a lot.
Stockholm is quite expensive to live in, as it
Yeah.
is.
Also, we have completely
Cool.
gotten off topic.
Whoops.
I mean,
That's-
I'm hoping people still find our conversations fun, but I think maybe we should stay a little bit back towards the neurodivergent things. What do you guys
can
think?
try.
Do you have any? What do you guys think? Not that I'm not enjoying our conversation, but we did have a subject.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna check my list a little bit to see if there's anything that we thought maybe we wanted to talk about.
We was talking about the sound.
We were at the
smell.
sensory issues things.
Yeah.
Right. So, do you have any specific sounds that you particularly like or don't like, or same with smell, taste, and
Well,
touch?
I used to have a problem with sounds that were too high, but
You mean high
thanks
pitched?
to the yeah, if it was too loud, then I used to get panics, but
Oh.
I got used to them thanks to a lot of conventions later on. I actually got used to loud noises, but there is one sound that I have a really hard time anytime at all, and that would be snores. When someone is snoring, I'm like going crazy, like really
Oh.
crazy.
You could never spend
I
time
have-
with Tilly then.
No, but if it's an animal, well, I can.
She sounds like a
probably
human.
just-
The
Yeah.
snorings are exactly like a human, so yeah, you wouldn't want to sleep in the same
But-
room as her.
If I'm trying to sleep, then I'm like, shut up, would you, please? I'm trying to sleep, or please just shut up. I don't like that sound. But no, it doesn't work. I wouldn't even be brave enough to ask somebody to stop snoring.
The things like people can't help that they're snoring, so you always feel so
No.
bad telling them. But like, I
Exactly.
agree with you. It's very hard to fall asleep when someone's like really snoring.
Yeah. Even the tiniest snores, I can't sleep with that, so I learned to sleep with earplugs.
Oh yeah, I tried to do that once when they were renovating outside my apartment.
Yeah.
But I don't like having things in my ears. Like even just like headphones are hard on my
Yeah.
ears. I don't like it. But at one point I had like in one ear and then a pillow above my head.
Yeah.
Got really warm, but you know. But
It's
it's
really
good that you
uncomfortable
managed
as-
to learn to deal with that, so you could find a workaround.
It's uncomfortable after a while, but I decided I have to get used to this if I want to get any sleep at all. I won't function otherwise.
Yeah, sleep is important.
So yeah, I had no choice. I just had to deal with it, take it for what it was. And I had to learn a lot of things the hard way to just accept it. I don't have to like it, but I have to accept it if I want to function at all. So yeah.
Yeah, do you, like, I know some people find like the ticking of a clock really annoying, but for me, like, I don't hear it because it's such an even sound that my brain filters it out. Is it the same for you? Like, even sounds go away, becomes background noise, and you don't notice it, or is it like dripping water and stuff like that? Is that annoying specifically for you, or do you like filter it out?
Well, I don't really. I think I figured it out really, but I can sleep to any noise or just ignore anything, as long as it's not a snoring sound. I think everything else is totally fine. But then this is the drill from the dentist. Whenever I hear that, I am actually really scared of that dentist.
What sound did you say?
The drill from the dentist, you know.
Oh my god. Yeah.
The
I
sound of
can't
that.
listen to that. Like I last time I was at the dentist, they tried to remove what's it called? Tandsten. What's it called in English? The little like stones or whatever you have between your teeth.
Yeah.
You can get, and like I had like it was a little bit painful, you know, as it can be, but that didn't bother me.
Yeah.
But the sound hurt, and you can't block your ears when the sound comes from inside your mouth. And I literally spasmed, like I couldn't lay still. My entire body flinched. Even though I tried to relax, I couldn't do it. It was impossible because the sound hurt my ears so badly. Oh my god.
So relatable. I'm just panicking as soon as
I panicked as well. It was just like I
and
can't.
the dentist. I'm not crying that much anymore. But when I sit there, I can start crying from literally out of nowhere. Mostly, if I am actually managed to fix a hole in a tooth without getting sedated, then I'm proud of myself. But, if they have to do a big renovation in my mouth, I'm like, sedate me because I won't be able to handle this at all.
No, same.
Like, take a rubber hammer and just hammer me in the head so I'm not
just bonk.
Yeah, give me a real bonk.
Yeah,
and,
I feel the same.
Yeah.
I have to remove a wisdom tooth relatively soon because it's growing kind of weirdly, and I don't want to do that. I'm scared, and it's gonna like the noises and then having your head down like that, and no. Although to be fair, I think most people, even neurotypical people, don't like going to the dentist.
Yeah.
But like the sounds are horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I removed my wisdom teeth about 3 years ago.
Oh.
I think it was 3 years ago, maybe 2. But I had to have a surgery to remove them because the way they were growing and the roots and such. So if I didn't want to have a permanent damage in my cheekbones and such, I had to do that surgery. But they wouldn't have been able to pull them out unless they did anyway. So.
Well, I'm glad you got through it. That's a good job.
I'm really not scared of doctors or anything. They can poke me with a needle. I don't mind because I'm way too used to that. So I'm one of the calmest patients they ever seen when I go to the hospital for something. Like, you're really calm. this thing? Well, I'm not scared of this. You're not a dentist. Why should I be scared of you?
Yeah.
That's literally me. You're not a dentist. I'm not scared of you. And they're not a snake either because I'm really scared of snakes as well. That's
Oh.
probably the only animal
And
except
I think they're
eel,
so
maybe, because
cute.
I'm really scared of snakes, but I have been doing better. I'm not as afraid of snakes as I used to be. I've been working on it. I can stand near a snake. I tried out at Skansen some time ago, and that went fine. But I couldn't touch the snake in the end. I tried, but didn't.
I mean, that's a pretty common phobia, I think, snakes.
Yeah.
My mom was scared of snakes too.
Yeah.
I always thought they were pretty cute, but then I don't like bugs and spiders, and some people think those are cute. So
I don't mind spiders.
Spiders bad.
I cuddled with a spider at there's a park in Sweden for.
They're all
Just to
crawly
explain it.
and long legs and
Well, that spider that I were cuddling with, it was like petting a kitten, a little cat. It wasn't that bad.
No, thank you. How about this? I'll stay away from the spiders. You'll stay away from the snakes, and then we'll be happy.
Yes. You take care of the snakes and I take the spiders.
That sounds like a plan. Let's do that.
Yes.
Although going back to
Definitely.
going to the not dentist doctors, and not being scared of needles. I'm scared of blood veins, not the blood, not the needles, but taking blood, like the tendrils and blood vessels. They're just so fragile. It freaks me out. I can't, like, even on old people, when you see them like, oh, on top of their hand, I can't even think about it now. It's just, it freaks me out because it's so fragile and I can't, and it just, I used to like have panic attacks when I took blood samples in the past. I've gotten better. Now I just feel it's very uncomfortable. I get really nervous and dizzy.
Yeah.
But it's like just just so fragile and gross. Same like how people can be like, oh, this person is so like ripped and working out, and you can see the blood vessels popping. Like, no, thank you. I don't find that attractive. Like, you do you, but stay away from me.
I used to be really scared of needles when I was a kid, but I had to do so many blood tests. I can't count them all, so I guess I just use it.
Yeah.
Because
Exposure
I had
therapy
no choice.
works. It's not fun, but it works.
I had to, and now I'm just sitting there. A while ago, when I took my blood test, there was a child. He was really scared, and I was in the same room, and she asked me, "Does it hurt?" And I knew the nurse that she was sitting with, so I was like, "No, it doesn't hurt at all." And that plaster that she had that will make the area go numb, so she won't be able to feel anything at all. It doesn't hurt at all. You won't feel any pain. And the nurse you're having, she's really nice and she's really careful. And when she asked if she could watch when they took the blood test on me, and I was, of course you can watch.
Oh.
And she was like, it actually didn't hurt. Nope, not at all. I felt the pinch, but I was like, no, I'm going to be brave for this child, because she was scared, and then she was brave enough. She did it.
Aw, that's so good.
She saw it by herself that, oh, this guy, it didn't hurt him. And, well, if I can help a child, then of course I do it, because I know what she went through.
Mm-hmm.
I did the same thing when I was a kid, but yeah, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun when you're young and maybe you never had a child or anything.
No, and sometimes just the unknown can be very scary.
Yeah,
it
really is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Paint says spiders cute, snakes scary. I agree with you. Also, again, we are reading what you guys are writing. We can't really read out all of it, because that would stop the conversations constantly. But we are reading it. So if you do want to share your opinion on something, please don't hesitate, because we do see it. Okay. And
And if you have asked that question before that we never answered, just ask again.
yeah, just ask again, okay? That because we do want to include you. We just get a bit carried away sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, moving on with the sensory things. Do you have any specific like tastes that you struggle with? Because I know that's a pretty common thing. Like food is difficult for a lot of people.
In a way, yes.
I mean, I
Both.
know you like a lot of food and cook a lot, but like,
Well, I'm not really a picky eater, but there are some stuff that I'm avoiding, like salads, when I can't see or don't know what's in it. I have a lot
oh,
of different reason as to why, because I can't eat a certain foods, but
sorry,
if I don't
you
know what's
disappeared there
in
for a
it,
second. Could you say it again, please?
yeah, I'm not a picky eater,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to avoid a couple of foods
Mm-hmm.
because I can't, my stomach can't handle it.
Oh, okay.
So if I don't know exactly what's in the salad, it's always been like that. If I don't know exactly what's in the salad or if there is any oil or something on it that I don't particularly like, because oil might leave a lingering taste
Mm,
or a feel in the mouth if it
yeah.
hasn't been cooked or I don't know where it's from. I have no problems with deep fried food because I like that. But if there's anything in it that I can't see what it is, if it's like bell pepper and salads with cucumbers and tomatoes in the salad, then I can take that, no problem. But if there's something else that I don't know what it is, I'm like, no, thank you. I don't know what this is. I eat the vegetables separately, but in a salad and I don't know what it is, I can be like, no.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get that as
And
well. I also want to know what's in the food I'm eating. I don't want to have a
yeah,
nasty surprise and to bite into something that I don't know what it is or something.
exactly.
Also, hi,
And
Mel Rainbows. Mel Rainbows. Welcome.
hello.
How you doing? Having a good day, I hope. And welcome to the stream. We're talking about neurodivergent stuff today. Also, Kalo, hi, I missed you. I'm so sorry. Hello, welcome. And you read about the financial security, but yeah.
And
We, like I said, we
some
are reading
Japanese,
it, just maybe not out loud.
yes, and the some kind of Japanese candy is from Japan. There's
Mm-hmm.
some consistency in those that I find really creepy, like a jello-y consistency.
Oh.
Some consistency I really can't handle, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't have this. I am not scared to try new things. I do that because it's exciting, but then I might just take a bite and like, oh no, thank you, this is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not scared of trying new things. I have a younger brother who has ADD though, and he is a selective eater. He only eats chicken and meatballs. He's starting to learn eat potatoes, and other than that, he's just eating rice and
Mm-hmm.
very few things.
Yeah. I used to
But
be more like that.
yeah,
And honestly, I still am. I have like 3 different things I switch between, but I no, nowadays at least I try.
yeah,
Um,
that's good though.
but when I was younger, when I was a kid, I was like, no, I already know I'm not gonna like it. And then I pouted. My father was so upset with me. He was like, "You will try it. You will sit at the table until you have tried the food." And I sat there for a long time. And the
And
mom
you,
had to like come in and be like, "No, maybe we take a break. Maybe it's okay."
yeah,
um, and it's like a lot of food. Like they made like I was really lucky, even though
yeah,
because eventually my father started getting it like, yeah, okay, maybe some things you won't eat. And they made special foods for me when they had something and I didn't like it. They made a special version of it to
yeah,
me, and that's more than a lot of parents do, I think. So I'm really lucky about that. Like pasta sauce, köttfärssås, they like with like tomato and stuff in it. I don't like
yeah.
tomatoes. I hate krossade tomater, whatever they're called in English.
Crushed tomatoes, I think.
Yeah, tomato
Tomato sauce.
paste or whatever. Like I
Yeah,
hate it. I can't eat it. And they had that in their pasta sauce, so they had to make a separate one for me because I wouldn't eat it.
Well, I
So
learned about your disliking for tomatoes
yeah,
when you talked about the pizza without tomatoes.
pizza without tomato sauce, which I know
Yeah.
is really weird, but I
Well, it
don't
doesn't
like
sound
it.
bad.
No, it's just
I,
I don't like it. It's just nah.
to me, it doesn't sound bad to not have the tomato sauce on the pizza. It sounds good
You
to
have
me.
to have some sort of dressing to it though, otherwise it gets a bit
Yeah,
dry. But if you have
yeah.
that, then you're fine.
That's that
And
sounds
no, it is
that
not
makes
the
sense.
same as grilled cheese sandwiches because they still taste differently than those because the bread is different.
Yeah,
But that I guess
I'd
that's
try
a
it.
food thing for me. Actually, I have a lot of food things. Like, don't get me started.
I wouldn't
But
mind
tomato is
trying
one
that
that I don't
actually.
eat.
I've been thinking about maybe trying a pizza without the pasta sauce because sometimes I can find there to be too much of
Mm.
that tomato sauce on a
I
pizza.
think it's good. I mean, you can ask them maybe to have half the pizza without it, and then have curry on it
Yeah,
because curry on pizza is so good,
it's actually
guys.
good.
You gotta try it.
Yeah,
It's so good. Like,
I like this.
now I want curry pizza. I can't
This
afford curry pizza. I want curry pizza. Oh my god! Don't talk about food.
there's this pizza with bananas and
Not
chicken
bananas.
and peanuts. It's like Swedish dish called Flying Jacob, but on a pizza and with cheese, and there's no rice in it, and it's actually really good.
I might try it someday, maybe without the tomato sauce.
Yes, do it. Many people are like looking at me when I'm ordering just a cheese pizza with bananas on it because I can really eat that. Well, if you haven't tried it, don't don't judge me because
a
it's
friend,
actually really good.
yeah, a friend of mine, her fiance is from Korea, I think,
Yeah,
and he'd never tried. I mean, there's a lot of different foods compared to Sweden and Korea, but
yeah.
the banana pizza, and he tried it while he was here, and it's like, huh, it's not half bad.
I know, right? It's actually really good. I have a tendency to have these kind of days when I have a craving for a certain food. Before I went to school, we get food served 5 times a day here.
Oh,
So
that's
I
a lot.
really, yeah, well, we don't get breakfast on Mondays and no dinner at Fridays, but other than that, we get breakfast, lunch, dinner, and fika. 2 pikas a day.
That's
But
nice.
the school helps me variate my
Yeah.
food, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Before then, I could like have a craving for very certain thing, like, oh my god, I'm into chicken nuggets at the moment. I can eat that 7 times a day,
Yeah.
and then I get bored of it. I go over to something else.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with candy and crisps. I go into a certain thing before I
Yeah.
go get bored of it, then I go into the next one, and
Yeah, I do the same. I
it's
think
nice
that
about
like
it.
interest driven is about food as
Yeah,
well. Like I can be like, okay, I want egg sandwiches and nothing but egg sandwiches, and then I don't want to eat it for a month, and then I go
yeah,
back to it. It's like very
yeah,
periodic.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, Kylo said
That's
that they used to not eat mashed potatoes, which was all their half school meals. I'm so sorry.
yeah.
And
I had
that's also never very
yeah,
good. I'm not the only one. Definitely not the only one. And apparently, a lot of our followers and people in chat and just people we know here are neurodivergent. So you know, you're one of many here, which is good.
yeah.
Which is also why
I
we're
had
doing this talk show because we realize a lot of people are like us in one way or another.
yes. I had this weird craving for grilled sandwiches, grilled cheese sandwiches
Oh, that's
for
good too.
2 weeks, right? And my mom was like, "Why are you not eating anything else?" Well, then I had a person where I lived back then. She was like, "Well, be happy he's eating food instead of not eating at all." And like, well, someone defended me, and that person actually knows what autism is because has a daughter on her own, so she was one of the only people that I really could rely on to understand what I was saying without
Oh.
having to explain very deeply what I was talking about. Because when you have autism, some of us have the tendency to talk about some things and someone else might not understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And that would just get me really frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So when I met this person, she understood everything that I said. Whoa, where did you come from? Where have you been all my life?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a really big thing when someone actually understands what you're
Yeah.
saying, because you don't face that kind of person every
Yeah.
day.
I also feel like a lot of, I don't know if how this is with like ADHD, ADD people, but like autism, we have a very specific need to be understood. I feel it's quite common. Like we over explain things a lot. I have a friend, she's not
Yeah,
diagnosed, but like she definitely has autism because we're too much alike for her not to have it.
yeah,
She's almost more stereotypically autistic than I am in some ways. And we always over explain everything. And to a lot of
yeah,
people, that looks like excuses. And it's like, no, I just need you to understand why I did this thing. But
exactly.
I've like almost trained myself out of it a little bit. Like, my family would disagree. They still think I explain a lot. But compared to what I
Yeah.
feel like I would like to do, it's a lot less. I'm holding myself back. But like I feel like this, like, do you feel like you want to explain yourself a lot, or like, because me and my friend are like that, but like obviously not everybody's the same. But I feel like it's sort of similar with other people.
Well, depending on who I'm meeting with, sometimes I feel like I have to explain this, but sometimes I'm just giving up because I know it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean not like specifically explaining that you're autistic or have
Yeah,
Asperger's or whatever, but more like, in this situation I did this because of this and this and this, which led to this and this and this, and of course that
yeah,
sounds like excuses. But it's like, no, I need you to understand how we got here.
yeah.
Kind of. I think I'm also a little bit
Well,
excessive in that.
most stuff that people don't always know about the people with this diagnosis, they don't know that sometimes you might say something that might be hurting, but you never mean to hurt anyone. You wouldn't hurt a fly, but sometimes it just gets out of your mouth without you having the time to think.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just happens. You can't always control it, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that we never feel bad when we say something. We might even try. It's like we want to try to fix it
Mhm.
because we never want to hurt somebody.
Mhm.
And it's sometimes when you don't know a certain thing that you don't really understand, it makes it even harder.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
might try, but if no one takes the time to explain to you, then how are you supposed to know? Because
Yeah. I'm also.
I
Also keep on.
I don't think that it's just a person with diagnosis, but because I think this stuff that really nobody always are supposed to know. Sometimes it's like, you should know this. You're this old and you should know this. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because no one
Like.
ever cared to tell me or show me. I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know how it works
Mhm. I
or
feel
what
like
it
that's a
is?
very, like, neurotypical people just like, I've had this experience at work when, like, compared to my like boss trying to educate new people and me doing it, like, this is gonna sound a little braggy, but like people always say like I explain things really well because I deconstruct it into basic simplest terms, and I don't assume they already know what I'm talking about, because like how could you know if you've never been hit before? Well, my boss assumes like, oh, they know how a register works, so when they say just put this on like put this on books and put this on whatever, and they'll be like, huh? And I'll be like, so there are different categories, and you need to, depending on what we sell, you need to, you know, put in them as different categories, and don't assume they know that. And like I feel like that's more of a neurodivergent thing. Like you say, you don't assume like people will know what you're talking about,
Yeah,
so you break it down for them so they have a chance to
yeah,
understand you. while neurotypical people have more tendency to generalize and just assume you'll pick up the pieces. You know, you'll connect the dots, and then you don't.
Yeah. And then there's the other way around. They expect you to understand.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't care about explaining it at all. They
Yeah.
don't care that you might not understand.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's like, it's your
it's
problem
easy
if you
to
don't
get
understand. But like,
hurt.
how am I supposed to know
Exactly.
if you don't tell me? Right?
Exactly. Because it's hurting more when they say that, no, I don't care about if you don't understand, because you should know this.
Mm-hmm.
And why should I have to know this?
Yeah.
Because I might never had interest or even knew it existed.
Yeah, and like,
To begin with.
yeah. To me, it makes perfect sense that someone might not know something, even if it makes no sense at the same time why you wouldn't know this. But like, everybody's different, have different experiences, so how can you assume they'll know everything you know, even if you think it's common sense?
Exactly.
But
well,
yeah, maybe that's what we'll explain.
Yeah. For some autistic people, it might be, you don't get this. Are you stupid? Well, it's coming from that way as well, because that's just a way of getting frustrated when you're not understood, I guess. But still, we might even have the interest to explain what it is if the other parts are showing interest in. Okay, what is this? You explain to me. I'd like to know more. Then you'll get interest and, okay, you want to know. You want to learn about what I love? Of course, I tell you everything because you're showing interest.
Yeah.
That's autism and Asperger are so different in many ways. You never exactly know what kind of person is behind that diagnosis. Many people just see the diagnosis, not the person behind.
Yeah.
It's you're not your diagnosis. You have it, but you're not what you have on the paper, because it's on a paper. It's not a person.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a name. You have it. You're not it.
Yeah. Okay. Take a breather. We have hydrate and stretch, so we should both do that. And we also have Melon. Thank you so much for the hydrate. And then who was it? Melon also followed. Thank you so much. You get a bunch of hearts because you're sweet. And welcome to the gang. Hope you enjoy your stay. Hydration is key. True. Very true. We shall do that now. Everybody in chat should also hydrate because it is important.
Yes.
And stretch your
and
back.
everybody stretch with us, because stretching is good for you.
Okay. Ooh, stretching. Also, welcome. If we have any new people now that hasn't been here from the beginning, I want to again tell you that we are reading what you're writing, even though we don't read it out loud or acknowledge it verbally. We're just trying to, it would interrupt the conversation too much if you read everything, but if you have an actual question, we will try to read that, and if we miss it, write it again. But we do read it, and we do appreciate everybody's input on things, and it's very interesting hearing what you guys have to say as well on these subjects, and like you're sharing with us like your experiences. It's a lot of fun to read, and I wish we could read it out, all of it, but then we wouldn't be able to hold a conversation. Thank you for the head pats, Melon. So we do see it, and yeah, if we miss a question or something specific, write it again, okay?
Or just shout at us, tell us that you have a question.
Huh?
It's okay.
Like,
Just shout if you bring it up.
Yeah, right. Question in caps and then your question in normals. Yeah. Oh, am I focused? Thank you, Melon. Apparently I am. Okay, we've gone through quite a lot of stuff now. Let's see if there was something I put on our list that we haven't gone through that we could bring up that could be interesting. We haven't talked too much about stimming. Is that something you do? Because stimming is very different from person to person. Personally, I realized that I would stim a lot more, except I've been taught not to my entire life. Whenever I've done something that was stimmy, if you can call that, I've been told by other people that this is annoying, this is distracting, don't do it. And I've taught myself not to. But now, because I realized that, I've started to allow myself to stim. And it's actually kind of nice. It's relaxing. It's helping with like just generally. Is that something you have experienced as well? Also, we have a question after that as well from Max.
Well, to answer your question, that's kind of pretty much what I'm doing at the moment. I have a tendency to shake my legs
To what?
for
Shake?
no reason. I'm shaking my legs
Oh.
like not stomping, but shaking them. And I am pretty much doing that every time. I don't really even think about it when it happens. It just does. And when I have too much energy, well, it has to go somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, for me,
Because
it's sometimes when I get bored, I have to have something more to stimulate me. Like, I have long necklaces a lot, and I always fiddle with them. Like, if I don't have them and I'm out somewhere, I feel really weird. Like, what am I supposed to do with my hands? I need something to fibble with. Is it called fiddle? I don't know. Fiddle, fibble, touch, and
fidgeting?
what?
Fidget
with, yeah.
Fidgeting?
Yeah. Also, favorite ice cream flavor? Asks Will Desires Rex. That sounds like real quick. I don't know. I have a lot of different ice cream flavors I like. What do you have for favorite, Alex?
I have it periodically. Right now, I'm into an ice cream with hazelnuts.
Oh, that's so good
flavors.
though.
Like having it's like frozen Nutella inside of it, and I'm just enjoying it quite a lot.
Can I
because
have some?
I love the consistency, and it's so good.
Can you send me some, please?
Yes.
Yay!
And it's with a nail. It might melt, but
I think that might be one of my favorites as well, like with hazelnuts or something like that, and cookie dough and blueberry. Okay. Back to steaming.
I don't have any experience with cookie dough ice cream. For some reasons, I'm
It's
gluten
good.
intolerant, so
At
I
least
can't have everything.
you can't have it?
No, it's cookie dough. It contains gluten, so I can't have it.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wish
okay.
I will keep my fingers crossed they make a gluten-free version so you can have it.
As long as you don't actually feed me gluten,
No, I won't.
Because that's a horrible experience.
Yeah, let's not do that. That's very unnecessary.
I had a friend seen one time when I had a gluten reaction.
Oh, yeah, I've heard it can be really bad.
Yeah. She got traumatized, so she's rather cleaning her kitchen out thoroughly before I visit. Because she's scared she's seeing it again. But
yeah, it's avoided. Good.
Yeah.
And Carlos also shakes his leg. You have legs in plural. Rex
it
verbally
seems like I'm not alone with that.
Oh, you mean like specific like words or just noises? Because there's a difference, I think. Maybe I hear a phrase in my... Oh, like repeating? That's interesting. I don't think I've ever been very verbal in that way. Is it something like you've been told you shouldn't? Because I'm guessing that's like, especially in school, people like, you should be quiet, you know? I don't understand why.
Well, I have been told quite a lot. But, yeah, I have given up trying to explain things because it doesn't help.
I've been conditioned not to do a lot of things. I used to twirl my hair, and then people told me, you're twirling your hair a lot, that's a bit annoying. And then I stopped. Then I bit my, you know those, when you have a hoodie on, the string to the hoodie, I used to chew that. and they
Yeah.
said don't do that, and then I stopped. And then I chewed my hair, and they said stop. And then I chewed my lip, which I still do, but more discreetly. Yeah, there's been a lot of things that I just stopped because it wasn't okay. And now
It's
I'm
kind of
like,
like
you know what? I'm gonna do this anyway because I have a diagnosis and you can't tell me I can't.
exact. It's kind of like they're telling you to not be yourself.
Exactly, but I mean, no one. That's the thing. Like I've always, and I think this is like maybe different between us as well because, I mean, girls always. I mean, we're taught to mask since we're very young in a different way than men mostly. Like boys can be a bit improper in a different way than little girls can.
Yeah.
So girls, even like neurotypical girls, learn to control their outbursts and things that are different from everybody else a lot quicker. And like we're reminded of things like don't do this, don't run, don't scream, all these things a lot earlier. So I think I learned to mask when I was very young, and then it stuck. And I can remember times in my life when people have told me like where I've like have had this realization like, oh, this is different and not okay. I'm gonna change who I am now, and I'm like relearning in my later years to like, no, it's okay. I can be different. I don't have to adjust everything I am to fit everybody else. But it's difficult to unmask those sort of things.
Yeah, I guess what you mean. As a trans person myself, I grew up as a girl, but I never felt like a girl. So
Oh, okay.
I
And then,
was forced to wear dresses and makeup by my ex stepmother, which ended up in a bad way. She's not around anymore, thankfully. But yeah,
that couldn't have been. I want to say not helpful, but that's like obvious. I'm sorry I had
yeah,
to go through that.
it's okay. I left it behind me. I'm just happy she's not around. The only good thing she ever did was to give birth to my younger siblings. But she's still an asshole right now, and things are not going well at all.
Oh.
But I have a new stepmother today, and she is one of the nicest people that ever lived.
Oh, that's good at
And
least.
yeah, and now my younger sister has also been diagnosed with ADHD about 1 year after my younger brother. But I can see there is autism in her because she is a copy of me when I was her age, except for the gender part. But I can understand everything she does without having to talk about it at all. I'm reading her like an open book, and my dad seems to also agree with me because he knows that I really exactly knows quite a lot about what it's like and how it works in very different ways. Just on, some parts of it is because I have been living with people with the same diagnosis around me. I've seen different things, so I know exactly what it is about. I saw it quite early in her when she was about 3 years old, and I thought, okay, I know there is something, but I will talk to my dad about it. Talking to her mother wouldn't be a good thing, but I talked to my dad, and now everything is turning out like I said it would. But I'm glad that she will get help now. She's turning 11 this summer, so it's still time for her to adjust. But, I don't think she's going to realize that until a lot later. She,
Before we continue, I was just gonna say hi to
yeah,
Courage. Bear.
yeah, courage. Hello.
Hi. I mean, reading's not. Thank you for the flowers as well, Ark. And I did see what you wrote. Shush. But hi and welcome. As you can probably tell, we're talking about neurodivergent things because we're both neurodivergent, and we do read everything you write in chat, but we might not be able to respond to it. But yeah, what I wanted to add to what you said about like you can read her like a book, I think like like I remember like when I was diagnosed, I was like, not, I don't have autism, because in my version, like what I've been introduced to, like what autism was to me, was like the very visual and more extreme versions, that like the stereotypical ones, and I'm like, that's not me, I can't relate to this. But then I took a course sort of in autism and I think we were like 10 people that have been recently diagnosed with autism that went to this lecture kinda, and there was like 3 neurotypical people holding a lecture, which didn't really register with me then, but now I'm like, why didn't they have an autistic person talk to us about autism? That didn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me now, because I think they should have, because it was very much them and us, and they tried to explain how we work when we're the ones working this way. But I remember one specific thing, and I will give my guest a gift soon. One thing that stood out to me was that they explained, because having problems with social interactions is a very stereotypical thing about autism, that we have problems with that. And we can't keep eye contact, and we can't socialize in a proper way, etc., etc. And we can't understand people. And that really, like, I didn't agree with them then, and I understand more why now, because they explain it like neurotypical people can understand people by just observing them, while neurodivergent people, autistic people, need to be told about their situation in order to understand it. And like, no, like, because I can understand other neurodivergent people really well because they're like me to some degree, while neurotypical people cannot understand neurodivergent people for the most part. They have a very, very hard time wrapping their head around how neurodivergent people work. I found like they're like, I don't understand how can you, like, they really, it baffles them most of the time. There are exceptions, of course, but like the majority don't understand neurodivergent people. So it's not that autistic people have a hard time understanding other people. It's that autistic people have a hard time understanding people that are different from them, the same way that neurotypical people have a hard time understanding people that are different from them. It's just that most people in the world are neurotypical or are pretending to be. So they don't have to try to understand people to the same extent that neurodivergent people do. So like, I'm like, no. I mean, sure, it's always different from everybody, and like some people do have harder time understanding people and their actions than others, obviously. But like, as a general rule, no, I don't think we have a harder time understanding people than anyone else that are different from us. It's just that most people are different. So we have to think more in everyday life. Do you feel like that as well? Pain seemed to agree. And Kalo, like, that's something I really realized and starting to piss me off when neurotypical people say this. Like, no, that's not it. It's just like, you don't have to try most of the time, you know? Do you agree, Alex? Or do you have different experiences with that?
No, I'm just because we have a diagnosis doesn't mean we're dumb. Like, there's times when they think that, but we might not understand everything. Sometimes the way to understand a certain thing is delayed. It might take a couple of days, years maybe, until so that's what you meant. I've been experienced that quite a lot lately. And some things I realized, so that's what you were trying to teach me? Now I get it.
That is true.
It's like sending it with mail. You never know when it arrives, but sooner or later it will. You might not understand this thing right now, but you might understand it in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, in an hour, tomorrow, in 20 years. But you will be able to understand it. Maybe not right now.
I also feel like if we don't understand it, we try to understand it more than just be like, whatever, you're different. You're like, but okay, there's a reason you're acting this way. I want to figure it out. More than just accepting that, like, because I've talked to people that, like, if I meet someone and they like act maybe a little socially awkward or do something that isn't, you know, generally neurotypical, I'm like, they probably have a reason for that. They're probably autistic or they have social anxiety or something, there's probably a reason why they're acting the way they do. It's not, this conversation might be a little awkward for me, but they're probably having a lot harder time than I am. So I will do my best to accommodate them and understand them. Well, I've talked to other neurotypical people in that situation, and they're like, that person's just weird. It's so annoying. Or like, it's awkward for them. Like, but they're not doing this on purpose. Can't you just try to understand them a little? So I feel like we try a bit more. Or is that?
All right.
Do you agree? Or am I just?
I agree with you.
Okay, just correct me if I'm wrong about stuff as well, because it could just be my opinion. Sometimes.
To me, it sounds normal. It sounds right.
I couldn't hear you there. You disappeared for a sec.
It just makes sense to me. I have a stepbrother as well. As you know, I have a lot of siblings, but he has some diagnosis as well. He once asked me if I believed that he could become something that he dreamed about, and I was like, has no one ever told this guy that he can become whatever he wants? I was like, of course you can do it. It might get hard. It will require hard work. But if you're willing to give all the work it takes, all it needs, then yes, you can definitely do it. Yes, you can do everything you want to. The diagnosis that gives you a certain interest. If you have an interest, focus on that, because you can do a career on your interest, because that makes you pretty much a specialist about it. If you dream about, or you really love to bake and you're really good at it because you love to do it and you focus on it, and that gives you perfection in what you're doing, then you can become the world's greatest baker if you'd want to, because you have the interest, you want to do it, and
like we said before, like the level of like how much being interested in someone can heighten our passion about something is like it's a different level. It really helps.
If you want to do something, do it. If that's your interest, do it. You can do it. Never let anyone make you think anything else. If you're unhappy with, I have read about so many people complaining about the work, how they hate to go there. But and I'm like, and why are you working there? Why don't you do something else? What are keeping you stuck there? Why can't you go to something else that you love to do? Focus on that. You can do it. It's possible today. You can do a lot today. There's a lot of possibilities. There's nothing stopping you. If you are ready to work hard to reach that goal, then you can do it. It might take time. It might take years. You can do it. Our work is supposed to be a place that you feel safe. You want to go there because you think it's fun. You're having a good time there. Mostly, it's the colleagues that makes a job. You know, if you're not comfortable or happy with the ones you're working with, then why not change the job? Do something else. You don't have to be stuck there if you feel bad about being at the job. Just do something else. It's fine.
I do agree with you, but I also recognize that for some people, that's my phone. Ignore that. It's very difficult to change your situation as well. Or like people get comfortable where they are, or like people like me that really terrified of change tend to get stay where you are, even if it's not ideal, just because you're worried about what might happen if you change it. So like yes, you can do everything if you really want to, but at the same time it takes a lot. I think people that get themselves out of situations that don't want to be in are very brave. And it does take some strength to get out of a comfortable situation. Even if you don't like, comfortable and likable are not the same in my mind. Like you can be comfortable somewhere but still not really like it, but because it's what you're used to, you stick around. So it's like, it's not always the easiest to break through, but if you do have someone like that to constantly encourage you, then it makes life so much easier. So I think maybe that is even worth more, like positive reinforcement, like you can do it, because it's so easy to tell yourself that you can't.
Well, the thing is, you really should never tell yourself that you cannot do it. And in case you feel like you need help to achieve your goal, then it's totally fine to ask for help. Ask someone. If someone wants to stream on Twitch and dreams about it, but unsure on how to, there are many creators out there that are ready to help you, to teach you things and recommend YouTube videos to watch and what to do, what you can do, how things works. Just do that. Don't be afraid to ask ever. Don't ever be afraid. There will be someone to help you. Maybe it's hard to find that person, but that person is there. Just don't give up on your dreams. If you're uncertain and insecure, it's fine. Take your time.
You're such a positive person.
Yeah. Just remember you can do it. Don't be negative about it. If you want to do something, just do it.
Get off your ass.
It might take time. Fine. That's me. That's my energy. That's what I learned.
I need a little bit more of that in my life. I think I'm very I'm like the thing I struggle mostly with, like all the things you can struggle with autism stuff, is change. It is absolutely debilitating for me sometimes. So even though like I want to, like, I want to do this, it's like, no, but what if, and then I get stuck.
I used to have troubles with changes before, but one day I realized I will not be able to change everything, but the things that I'm able to change are the things that I'm comfortable with, and that's in my life. If I want to do it, it's fine. I guess I just always have to get used to it in the end. So I don't know how I managed to get comfortable with changes. I haven't always been comfortable with it.
Well, if you figure out how you did it, could you write a book about it and give it to me?
I might be able to help you if you need any advice. Just write to me. It's fine.
Yeah, I used to think that I gotten better at it, but I realized that just a limited change from my life.
Yeah.
And then things changed, and I'm like, oh no, I still don't like this.
The thing is, just do it in your own way. Don't do it.
But even that is scary.
Well, it's fine. It's fine to feel scared about it.
You know that genetically modified sheep that when it gets scared just falls down?
Yeah.
That's me.
But
I don't have a flight or fright or fight response. I have freeze and I can do nothing.
It's still okay though.
it's annoying is what it is.
It's okay. It just takes time. Let it take time if it needs.
I don't know how I feel about someone younger than me giving me life advice.
Just if it even takes years, just give it the time. It will work.
I will try, I promise.
I promise you can do it.
Thank you.
See, you're the only one.
Everybody needs an Alex in their life. You're so positive.
Well, I learned to leave the negative things about me, and I'm grateful. I'm looking at the bright sides.
Yeah. But speaking of that, I always see myself as a positive person, but most of my friends have told me they see me as a negative person because I always expect the worst so that I will be prepared or things will go better than I expect. And to me, that's being realistic and prepared. That doesn't mean I always go as imagining the worst things, but I'm like, you're not positive. I'm like, I am. I like things. I'm a happy person. I'm positive. I just like to be prepared.
A different experience about you then. Because I find you a positive person, and it's logical to me. Well, it might be because I'm living with the same diagnosis, but I also learned that you should never let anyone tell you differently that you can't do anything. Because just because we have a diagnosis, it doesn't mean that we can't do what we want to do.
Yeah, we might have to do it differently though, and the road there will probably be wonky.
Yeah.
Like I would the things like now, especially since I hi Cloud, welcome. Now that I lost my job a while back, so I need a new one now, and I'm like, maybe it's time for a change, because something that this is basically the sort of that I would love to do is to like talk about this stuff with people. Maybe go to schools and talk about it, but I have no idea how to even do that. Do I need an education for that? And I'm like, education bad. I have no good experiences with education. It's horrible. It's scary. It takes all the energy I have and then some, you know? Oh, I'm now a cat.
There is a way to start. I might know a couple of people if you might need the help.
I'm still thinking about it.
Let me
That's
know
also a
about
thing
it.
with me. Like, an idea needs to be like in the thinking stage for a long time before I'm okay with acting on it.
The
But
time.
I will
If
keep it
you
in
look
mind.
if you look at it this way, you have just taken this first step today.
Yeah. But this
You are
isn't. I
talking
don't
about
need
it
an
right now.
education for this. I just need to tell people my experiences. So that's easier.
No, you don't. You just need to speak of your own experience. Yes,
Yeah.
it's what makes you feel more comfortable to doing it. Do it in your VTuber form to start with, and
I mean, I
then when you
wouldn't
grow more
like
comfortable, just
before I became a
take it from there.
VTuber. I was like, I wanted to do these sort of videos, like just like video blogging. So that's not an
Yeah.
issue. It's just like, and I don't get like stage fright. I don't mind being in front of people talking if I know the subject. It's just like, how would you even do that? Like, do you just call a school and be like, hi, I want to talk about autism to your kids? That's just weird.
Well,
right? How do
it's
you
not
even
weird at
start that?
all.
Like, what?
If you need any help with the way to start it, I have just the right people for you to talk with.
I will keep it
Really.
in mind, I promise, to when I'm ready to actually do and
Yes,
act on things. But I'll definitely keep it in mind. Thank you.
I'm ready to help you anytime, really.
Thank you.
Because you can do it. I know you can do it
Oh.
because it's not that hard to do it at all. It's a subject that you want to talk about, and that's the subject that you choose to do. And if you want to start somewhere, you can talk to photo schooler or some high schools that are specified in autism.
I'd
That's a
rather
good way
talk to like
start.
younger people, because I think if you really want people to understand this and get the right opinion on it and like not have prejudices about it, you need to start educating people at a young age before they start hearing from everybody how things should be.
Well, there's ways to do that. I know people. I know a lot of people, but I'm ready to help anytime.
I will keep it in
tell
mind.
me.
Thank you. Also, I am a fox now, by the way. For some
I
reason.
like foxes.
I'm a fox cat. Because I
like
have the
foxes.
whiskers. Thank you, guys. That was Emily.
You look cute like
It just seems so. I don't usually like see my model while I'm playing games, and now because we're doing this, I can see my model constantly. So I'm like, oh,
Meow.
I look like this now when I'm talking. I'm not used to this. Thank you for the meow as well. Also, because I think did we have any new people in chat? Again, we are reading, we just can't always respond. I need to say that a lot in case someone pops in. I don't want to feel like I don't want anyone to feel like we're missing them. Okay?
We love you nonetheless.
Yes, we do.
Even if we haven't seen you.
Yeah, we read. I'm reading everything, like skimming through everything as soon as it pops up while
Yeah.
I'm listening to you. So,
I'm doing the same.
Yeah. Okay. Good. But yeah, I'll definitely keep it in mind. That's very kind of you. And yeah, when I'm ready for a change.
Yeah.
You should pin that as a message next time. Oh yeah, probably should have. Like, we are reading, we just
Good job.
thank you for the good job. It's like the butterflies are numbing the egg. Really? I didn't notice that. It does. That's so cute. Also, do you still have the egg and the stuff? Do you want to keep them, Alex, or should I remove them? Do you?
I can keep them. I like the cats. And I'm a Sim from Sims now.
Sorry, I couldn't catch the last thing you said there.
I'm a Sim from Sims. and I like the
Yeah,
cat. So
just a
I
tiny
can
one at the
say
top there.
I like it.
Meow.
It's just like
Meow again.
I like the company.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if there's something else that I put on our list that that could be interesting to address. Okay, we talked about stimming and sensory issues. We talked a little bit of change in routine.
Then there's the smells.
Sorry, I couldn't
Yes.
hear you.
The smells, you know.
Oh, smells. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
very sensitive to that. Like smoke is really bad, especially like
Yes.
cigarette smoke. I cannot. Same with strong perfume and cleaning products. It's horrible. I feel like I have a hard time breathing, and I'm not allergic. That's not it. It's just too sensitive to it. Like the only
Yeah.
perfumes I have is like soft vanilla and strawberry because that's the only one I can handle.
But that sounds like a nice smell then.
They are nice. They're just like sweet smells I can deal with. Like
Yeah.
same with like the smell for like chocolate and sweets is fine, but anything other than that, it's like nope. Do you
I have a hard time.
specific ones?
Yeah. Cigarettes for me as well. Well, cigarettes are bad in general. Then there's the. Well, I'm trying to figure out what it is now. There is another smell, but I have a smell that I oddly like though.
Oh, do
I
tell.
really love to go inside a cow barn. I know it smells like shit in there, but there's something specific about the hay, the grass, the cows, and the smells in itself. It's quite calming, and it's like I don't know why, really.
They
I
do
just
say
can't
that
stand it.
smells is connected to memory a lot, so maybe it's connected to a good memory.
Might be.
I mean, it could also be
Oh.
just like, but sometimes it is like because it reminds us of something, even subconsciously, both good and bad.
It might be reminding me of when I defeated my fear of touching a cow.
Your fear of, sorry, I couldn't hear the last bit.
I had a fear of touching cows, so it might be the defeat of that. Now
Sorry,
I'm
I heard you
having
said petting toes, but that cannot be
no,
what you said.
cows. Cow.
Cows. I was like, yeah,
Cows,
you couldn't
yeah.
have said toes. That was no.
I was scared of petting and touching cows before,
Oh.
but I got over that, and I guess that's why I came over that fear, or like the smells of it.
Mm.
Every time I go into a cow barn, I feel like, oh, how I miss this.
Oh.
And there's something special with it, and now I'm holding a cow. I can vaccinate their colts, their children, and I'm like, wow, I couldn't do this a while ago, and now I can milk a cow as well. I'm like, this is a new world.
Yeah.
I like cows.
I'm one of these days I'm gonna stop being surprised, but everything you can do, like, oh, you can do this and you do this and you do this.
Yeah. Well, it proves that even if you have a diagnosis, you can learn and you can do a lot
Yeah.
of things. The interest you have, it's a treasure.
Yeah.
Just
For me,
use it.
sorry, keep talking. I'm not gonna interrupt.
No, you can. No, it's fine. You can talk.
I was gonna contradict you with. I think my diagnoses work against each other, and because I have a dyslexia as well, like I have real memory problems. So even if I'm really interested in something and learn a lot about it, I rarely remember most of it, which is very annoying because like I might have special interests about some things, I might have hyper focuses and learn a lot, but I don't retain the knowledge, which is really annoying because I just like that's why I always say I'm like academically smart, because that's like a lot of people consider like knowledge being smart. In that sense, I'm dumb. I am very dumb. I'm smart in other ways, but like just general knowledge does not stay in my head. And I hate the fact because I can be really interested in something for like weeks and learn a lot about it. And then 2 weeks after that, I can start retelling something that I learned and like, it's gone. I don't remember it. And it's just the most frustrating thing in the world. And like, why can't I remember something that I loved? And just, it's not
I
fair.
can relate to that in a way, actually. I used to be a Pokemon expert when I grew up, but I'm not an expert in Pokemon anymore. I still love Pokemon a lot, but I really don't have the compassion that I used to have. And I stopped learning the names of the Pokemon after a while because there used to be an amount like maybe up to 600 Pokemon. I learned all of them. And then after that, I was like, okay, I don't know what you are. I seen you. I know certain things about Pokemon still, but I lost a lot of it because when the Pokemon cards started to become expensive, I couldn't keep on playing the trading card game because it was way too expensive to continue.
Oh.
And yeah, I guess I dropped a little bit of that. And after a while, after a couple of years of depression, I guess I lost pretty much because I didn't have the same interest, and then I started to work, and then I had less time to do what I love.
I mean, that makes
Because
sense,
people
though.
were keeping me from it. Yeah.
Oh my god. We have an infiltration.
We're having a feast back.
Hi, Royal. And hi, Raiders. Welcome to the Neurodivergent Talk Show. To my right over here, you have the AlexSwedishFikaVT. And we're both neurodivergent, and this is a talk show where I invite other neurodivergent people to talk about the way we are neurodivergent, and hopefully people can relate and find it interesting, and we can share and maybe learn from each other. And other times when I don't do this, I'm just playing games. Welcome. What were you guys playing? Did you have fun? I hope you did. Welcome. Oh wait! I should do a shout out. I don't have any of my mods in chat. I tend to get really. That's one thing that I am lazy with. For Quack's usually so quick, but he has so much stuff he needs to do. I don't want to rely on him all the time. Okay, shout out.
Now that you mention it.
And I should shout out you as well. I haven't done that. What's wrong with me? No, I can't spell. Why can't I spell? I wrote toil. No, I can't spell it all. Rascal. You know what, Royal? I'm gonna copy your name because I am dyslexic as fuck. And I don't want to accidentally shout out someone else because that could be awkward. There we go. Shout out for Royal. Who the fuck is Royal? Maybe your evil twin. We played horror game. That was oh wait, was it the train one? Because I seen you playing that one. Did you manage to get to the first car? I hope you did. And welcome. I understand if you need to go, because you've been streaming and stuff. But if you want to stay and listen, I know you're neurodivergent as well. Feel free to do so. But if you need to rest. Oh, you do that? Okay, that's smart, Royal. I'll try to remember that. Okay. It's a train one. Okay. Also, Alex, are you still here?
No.
Okay, you were just quiet. I was worried you were muted there for a second.
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Just checking. Wait, Royal, you panicked? What happened?
Oh, I think I will have to watch your stream later.
Yeah. Wait, did someone clip the panic? I hope they did.
I watched a little bit in the beginning of Royal stream earlier.
I watched last stream with the train. It was fun.
That game is really interesting, really.
Yeah, and really. Oh god, I just realized as well that my mouth moves when you're talking. It's probably done that this entire time, but I haven't noticed until now. Oops.
It might be a ghost.
Yeah, it's because I have it set to sound as well as movement to get a more active mouth movement. But then if I have things on speakers, my mic picks up it a little bit, and that's how it happens. It's happened before as well. Just didn't notice before.
I just noticed it that myself. It's like, wow, I control your mouth.
No, you do. You can make me say things that's not real.
I give you a new voice.
No, this is the male version of time.
A dementor?
Wait, what?
Is
Got scared of
dementors
it.
in that game?
Oh my god. 4 panic moments? Oh my god, Royal, are you okay? Do you need a hug?
And Alex is a puppet. I'm a puppet?
Or maybe, Kylie didn't notice the mouth move. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it. Now everybody's gonna notice it. Damn it. You know what we're gonna do? I have a way to fix this. There. Now you can't see it. No, wait, this is better. Hold on.
Are you hungry?
Oh, wait, no, it's on my chest. I thought I could look like I'm holding it, but it doesn't stay that because the blanket isn't, well, the blanket is moving. It's not part of my model. So I have to stay still. So it's holding it. Do you want to hold your drink as well? Oh,
I
you don't have
any
hands. Oh.
My hands are stuck on my lap.
I have forced Alex here and tied him to the chair.
And I have a cat. Maybe my cat wants a drink though.
Oh, you want something? Oh, the cat is in front of this one. Oh no. Well,
Maybe.
there, I can hold it.
The cat doesn't
Kinda.
want it.
I wish you could change which ones are in front of the other ones with that. Oh, also this glass is now moving. It's a glass that's possessed. What? We have ghosts in the stream now.
Did you bring any ghost with you?
Yeah, there is a ghost. Yes.
I think we'll bring some ghosts.
What are you
On the
both
stream.
drinking during the stream then? I've had what do you call it? Iced latte, coffee, which is good, and Pepsi and water. I've had 3 different glasses. What do you have, Alex?
I have a boba tea with a taste of chocolate.
I mean, in real life, really?
No, in real life I have something we call in Sweden pestis with a taste of wild strawberry. It's one of the newest.
I couldn't
but
hear
it's
all you said. Sorry, you got quiet again. I don't know
You
if it's
got
my
quiet again?
ears or if it's like, guys, could you hear Alex? Is it just my ears that don't work? Which could be it, because I do have a hard time hearing stuff sometimes. And I want to know if it's me or if you can hear him. Okay, I'm gonna move this glass now. There you go. Stay.
It's the mic cutting
No.
out. All right.
Stay.
Then it might just be me, I guess. Well, the drink I am having, it's called Festis. It's a Swedish drink with the taste of wild strawberries.
Ooh, tasty, tasty.
It's really good. It's newly released, barely a month ago.
Might have to try that. Sounds good.
Do it. It's really, really good. It really tastes wild strawberries.
Ooh.
Like literally.
Ooh. We'll definitely try that.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Also, I just want to see if we missed anything in chat now that the videos came in, and then we can go back to one of the subjects and see how long we can stay on track. Gender swap time. Okay, yeah. That's a. Do we want a model for that? That could be interesting. Okay, there is that. Royal send a bunch of cute emotes. Is half full or half empty? We don't know. Usually, he's scared. Scared doing it. Oh, it's okay, Royal. We'll give you hugs so you won't be scared. Okay, I think if we miss something specific or questions and stuff, as usual, just write it again. And I'll say this for you readers as well, that we do read everything in chat, but we can't respond to everything because otherwise our conversations would die out constantly. But we do read it, and if you have a question, then we will try to our best to answer it. If we miss it, write it again, and we will do our best again to respond to it, because we want to keep you guys in the conversation with us, because a lot of people in this community, both of our communities, I'm guessing, are neurodivergent in one way or another, so you are part of this.
You might have anyone in their family or friends, perhaps?
Family, friends, what?
With autism or
Oh yeah, like if you have
anything else.
someone you know that has a diagnosis of some
Yeah.
kind. That's pretty common as well. Also, I realized that if one person in your family have a diagnosis, then the odds are someone else has something too.
Yeah, well, 4 of my siblings with me being one. No, we're 5 with me, but
It started with you.
we are 5 people, 5 siblings in my family with diagnosis.
Oh, and for me, it's just
Quite interesting.
I think my father had it. He passed away like 15 years ago, but now looking back, it's like, yeah, he probably had autism, because he was very interested in like science and technology and was really good with computers and stuff. And like computers were not as advanced 15 to 20 years ago as they are now. And
I remember.
and you could like build a computer back then and stuff, and he could talk about those things forever, but otherwise he was really quiet and shy, a little awkward in some social situations. And stuff. So it's like, yeah, probably got it from him. And now my brother realized that he has a little bit of ADD as well. My mother did not have something. She was very neurotypical, although a very understanding person, considering. And then my sister's definitely neurotypical. We don't understand each other very well. I love her, but our brains work very differently.
Yeah, I can recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my parents had anything, but I'm not so sure about my grandparents though.
What signs did you see? As I think you cut out, I can't hear you.
My grandparents, I don't know if they had any.
Yeah, I heard that bit, but did you say something after?
No.
Oh, okay. I asked if you saw any specific signs in them. Also, we have a question from Milla as well. Do you wanna do we do that first, or?
You can go first.
Okay. The question was, what was something you were obsessed with before that you're. Wait, I can't read. Why is this dyslexic person reading?
Want me to take over?
Also, Pop, hi, welcome in. Okay, I'm gonna try again. I want to try again, see if I can. Otherwise, you'll have to do it. What was something you were obsessed with before that you're not obsessed with now? Am I getting that question right?
Yeah.
So what were we obsessed with before but aren't anymore? Or what were we obsessed with before and what are we obsessed with now? Is it which one is it? I think we both got a little Rex, which I keep calling you both Villa and Rex. This is difficult. It can be both, sure, okay. Do you want to go first, Alex? And we had another question from Emily. We'll answer that in a bit.
The thing. What I used to be obsessed with Legos and Pokemon, I guess. I'm still into Pokemon, but not Legos at the same way. No, not Lego anymore. But I used to be.
Okay. Maybe that's why you're loving Minecraft so much now? Because it's kind of like
Probably.
a Lego, but in the computer.
It's a box.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Oh,
How about you?
about me, the thing is, I never really had very specific special interests. I think the first special interest I can really remember is like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I used to stay up till like 3 in the morning when I was 15 because they aired in the middle of the night. And I've watched all of it so many times. I still love it. I think my first crush was probably Spike. He was very hot. uh, so I loved Buffy. And a lot, like, I think series and like TV shows in general have always been something that I get stuck in a lot. So I had a lot of different TV series. And now, and I don't know, I was into cosplay a lot for a while, and then now I think I've mentioned this before, but the ship from Voltron with Shiro and Keith called Sheath. I write a lot of fan fiction for it, and I read a lot of fan fiction for it, and I fan about it on my other private Twitter that is not safe for work with a bunch of people, and we that's my special interest right now. So it's usually
Sounds like
pretty
fun.
story driven, I guess. A lot of my special interests, like I know, like generally stories in general always fascinate me, like fantasy and other worlds and dreaming myself away to something more exciting than life. I guess is if you want to generalize a special interest, I think it's something like that. It's just been different specific things over the years. I think that's what I love mostly.
Sounds like fun though.
Yeah, the only problem is it's not really something you can like work with. I mean, I guess it could be like a film critic, but I'm also very specific about what I like, so I couldn't just watch anything. So it's just fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Lekra, hi, welcome. We are talking about neurodivergent things like autism and ADD and ADHD and Asperger's syndrome, and there's a lot of different things really that fall under that umbrella. Both of us have similar diagnosis, but not exactly the same. So we're trying to talk about things that are similar, things that are different, and we invite chat to share their own opinions about things, and then we just wanna, be able to relate to people, and maybe we can learn from each other. That's kind of the point of this.
Yeah.
And chips.
Some
Yes, right now we're talking about chips because
yeah.
yeah, I'm a fangirl, okay? At heart, I am always going to be a fangirl. Okay?
I
But that was
tend
a
to
specific
have
thing, that's not the whole stream.
I tend to get obsessed with music. I can listen to one specific song for hours before I get tired of it to go to another song.
Which actually leads us to Emily's question. What's that one song that you can't get out of your head, and why is that? So why don't you answer that?
Well, that's a really good question. It varies from time to time when I get into, oh, I like this song. I can listen to this for hours.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get to pick one song, then I would have to pick This Is Me from The Greatest Showman, because
That one's good.
it's really comforting in a way, but it also helps me motivate to keep on with my studies.
Mm-hmm.
I am planning to try to translate that into Swedish sign language. Swedish sign language, so I can take it with me up to the stage. Some people knows that I'm into the theater as an actor, and that's my life when I get the chance. So when I'm done studying, I'm planning to take that song with me to the stage, and then what I'm going to do with that, I don't know, but I'll figure out one day.
One day. You don't
One
have to have
day.
everything figured out now.
No, I work with things. I am though planning on making some quiet theater, some dramas. That's what it's called when nobody in the theater are talking. There's no sounds. They are using sign language instead of talking. In
Ooh.
a theater play, I learned about it just now, so I was like, oh, I can do this. I can bring the sign language with me to the theater, not just behind the stage. Are you supposed to stay quiet? Or otherwise, everybody will hear you when you're not supposed to be heard, but you can still communicate.
Mm.
And I want to just let everybody enjoy the theater, no matter if you can hear or not. But that's that's my goal right now. I want to take it with me to the stage.
Sorry, you cut out again. What was the last thing you said there?
I want to take my sign language with me to the stage, to the scene, the stage,
Ah, yeah.
and the theater.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some like shows and stuff, like clips of it on YouTube and stuff that where they like ignore my phone. Like reward shows or even like stand-up comedy and stuff where they've had sign language interpreter there, which is really nice to see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So everybody can follow along. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an aggressive yawn. Came out of absolutely nowhere. You're not boring me. Sorry, that's not why. It just ended up now for some reason.
It's fine.
Sorry. It was a bad timing.
It's a long day.
Yeah, I've been up since 7:30.
That's a long day.
I've done nothing though.
In my opinion.
I've done nothing.
But still, you've been existing. It takes
True,
energy,
I've been
you know?
existing. I mean,
Yes.
existing is exhausting. It
Yeah,
really
I
is.
know.
Mm-hmm.
It takes energy to get out of bed.
It does, and eat breakfast. Like not maybe not eat breakfast, but like make breakfast and then make food, and then walking.
And you're feeding the cat.
Yeah, she's
Takes
sleeping
energy.
right now.
Yeah.
She's being
She's
cute.
happy.
Okay. Do we wanna continue to another subject? I think there are some we haven't talked about yet. What do you think?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go for that.
One thing we haven't talked about very much is social interactions, because that's also very different from person to person. Like some people have a lot of problems, like, and I'm not like there's a difference between also like having social anxiety, which is a very real thing. A lot of my friends have that, and it's a struggle. I feel for them, but that is a different thing. I mean, you can have that and something else, but like then there's the social struggles within autism and Asperger's syndrome and ADHD, and that are based on other things. I noticed for like keeping eye contact is a very stereotypical thing, like not being able to do that. Like how do you listen and talk? Like I've realized that when I talk to someone, my eyes go everywhere, especially if I'm interested in something. Like I look up and down and back and forth, but when I listen, I look. So how are you with that?
I'm pretty much doing the same. Unless I'm really comfortable with the person that I'm talking to, then I'm not keeping eye contact with them. But I find another spot somewhere to look at. Unless I really try to focus. What are you saying? I know there's people around me. If there is like 3 or at least even one more person trying to speak at the same time as the one that I'm trying to talk to, then am I supposed to listen to you, or is it you that I'm supposed to talk to? Or what are you saying? I can't hear because this person is talking too. What am I supposed to listen to?
Yeah.
That's quite challenging.
I recognize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one-on-one conversations I love.
Yeah.
Because then I only have to focus on one person's reactions to what I'm saying, and me reacting to what they're saying. But if there's many people, then how do people regulate, especially like if they're the one talking, how do you regulate who to look at when you're talking? If you're talking
That's a really good question.
all of them, that's something I've really struggled with in my life. Like I don't
be
struggle with eye
honest-
contact, but like when it's many people, I realized after the fact that I tend to single out one person that I'm most comfortable with and look at them,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
kind of, it's not very inclusive. Even though I am
Yes.
talking to everybody, sometimes even if I'm talking to one person more, I can single out the one I'm more comfortable with, and then I have to shake myself out of it because no, you're talking to that person.
That's exactly what I'm also. I haven't found a solution to that yet. So
Yeah, I have to
I'll
just
let you know if I find one.
yeah, I'll have to just like realize I'm doing it, and just
Yeah.
really like no, like really force myself to look away. But then I also
Yeah.
feel like I have a harder time keeping the conversation going.
Yeah.
Like I'll talk more fluently and to the point about what I'm talking about if I don't have to focus on like I need to talk to every single person in this room. Yeah. So like if like I can stand, like I say, I don't have stage fright. I can stand in front of a group of people, like at the front of a class or something, and talk. But then you don't actually have to look at everybody the same way. But like if you're having just a conversation sitting around a table, that's the more difficult.
I
I also told my friend, like I have one specific friend that I tend to single out more, because she's my best friend, and she's very sociable, so it's easy to focus on her. And I've told her like, blink at me, extra if I focus on you too much, and then I'll notice like, oh, I'm doing it, and then look away. So maybe try that. If you have one of those people that you tend to focus more on, like ask that person to signal you somehow that you're doing it, because I have to realize I'm doing it in order to stop.
That could work, though. If I'm knowing myself right, I'd probably forget that I told him.
So you're like,
Give
why
me
is this
that
person
signal.
blinking at me?
What are you blinking at?
Yeah, what do you
Are
want? Are you flirting with me?
Yeah, is there something you want?
Oh, speaking of
What do you want?
which, do you recognize when people are flirting with you, and can you flirt with other people? Because I am
No.
completely blind to both of those.
I don't think I do.
No.
I don't think I realize it.
No, I don't even notice when
I'm
people check me out and stuff, because I've had my mother tell me, like when we've been out with the entire family when I was younger, and then like afterwards she was like, you noticed that guy was checking you out? I'm like, what? No, I don't see it. And like what? It's happened many times where like, oh, he was checking out, he was looking at you. I was like, no, what? I don't see it. I'm like, how many people have checked me out and I don't know? Maybe I've missed the one because I haven't been noticing. You know?
Am I supposed to notice?
You mean like how do you notice? I can see someone looking at me, but how do I know they're looking at me? You know?
Exactly.
Like, what's the difference between looking at someone and flirtily? If flirtily is not a word, flirtingly looking at someone. Like, you don't just wink at people. You know? That's not like, how do you subtly? In that way, I am definitely socially different.
The only flirting experience I can recognize is from the Sims games. Like the Javadu. Oh, you're flirting.
Wait, I think you cut out a little bit again. I'm sorry.
You know, in the Sims games. That's the only flirt that I actually know.
Yeah, it has to be very obvious.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's not obvious, I'm like, am I supposed to know that you want something?
Yeah.
And
The thing is,
if
like,
you-
I've read many fan fictions where like the characters are clueless and like one can flirt with the other and it doesn't notice it. I'm like, I'm the one that doesn't notice it. I think someone could literally like tell me to my face almost like, I like you. I'm like, oh, I like you too. And then like, oh, you mean that way? Because I don't see it. I also sometimes worry, like, because I'm kind of friendly, that I end up flirting with someone that I don't intend to. Do you have that problem too?
You know, why can't they just say it out loud that I like you, as in loving you. I want you to be my partner. Like, do you want to be my wife? You
Just
ask.
tell me if you're interested. Just straight up tell me.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
like, don't be
What's wrong
subtle.
with that?
We don't need any mystery. Just tell me. Do you want to
Yeah.
can't it be like in the old days where like you were courting someone and then you went up to them like, I would like to court you and ask you out on a like on a date, and do you want to go to the like do you want to dance, and like, why can't people be straightforward anymore? You know.
Exactly.
Also,
Just
Royal, I did see that. And yes, you're so
yeah.
right.
I
Oh, you want to increase
the way she looks at
Alex's
Kate
level even more?
versus
Okay. What
the
about
way
now?
she looks at Peach, that's how you know the difference. I still don't get it. Sorry, Royal. That's out of my league.
Have you seen Voltron? That show that's from?
No,
No, that's probably
I
why.
haven't.
But yeah, you
Yeah.
can see the way. I mean, in that's the thing. I can understand it in TV shows and in like stuff like. But then it's also like it's intentional. Then it's they show it in a different way. But in real life, it's just not as straightforward, you know. Times
Yeah.
OTP. Yes, I've already mentioned that one. Yeah, that's probably the longest I've ever shipped anything, and yeah. Don't get me started talking about it, Royal. I won't stop. And this is not a talking about ship stream. This is talking about Neurodivergent stream. We can do another stream talking about ships if you want, Royal.
Having a question for time. Can you increase my volume a little bit?
Yeah, I already did. Do you want me to turn it up even more? Also, Royal said yes. Are we doing it? We can talk about that later, Royal. Also, I do want to invite you to this as well, Royal, the Neurodivergent talk show, sometime in the future. Just
That'd
while
be
you're in
fun.
chat, I'm gonna mention that while I remember it.
Should do it, Royal.
Yeah, no, we got off track now again. It's easily to distract me, okay? Okay, back to, relationships are hard. Noticing when people are flirting is hard.
Yeah.
People should just state their intentions clearly. I wonder how many people have flirted with me and then just given up because I didn't notice they were interested, and then they just assumed I wasn't interested.
I get
It'd be
that.
interesting to know.
Definitely. Hello, Quack.
Hi, Quack. Welcome.
I've been wondering where you've been.
Do you need me to shush you to bed later? Because then I know you had a lot to do. or do you actually have time to be here? Be honest with me. I agree that special interests are part of this topic. So, yeah, true, we have talked a little bit of a special interest, I guess, already before you got here. Yeah. I have actually been really good, and I have a complete list with questions and topics so that we don't forget anything. I did my research, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Alex came up with a lot of good subjects as well. I have time to be only for 30 minutes, then go to... Okay, in 30 minutes, everybody tell Quack to go to bed, okay? just scream it in chat in 30 minutes. But it's nice to see you. It's nice to have you here. Oh, Royal, calm down. We're not aggressive just yet, okay? Not yet. In 30 minutes. Calm down.
Nice, Royal.
Down, Royal. Down. Sit.
Sit down. Have some tea.
Yeah. Do you want a treat? Do you want to sit down and have a treat? Now we're just messing with them. This is we can mess with Royal because Royal isn't here and can't talk back stream. Oh, that's better. That's better. That's better. Good, Royal. Treat? Oh, you want a treat as well? Okay, everybody in chat gets a treat. Actually, speaking of that, we should all probably hydrate. We haven't done that in a while.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, everybody wants treats. If you have a snack, get a snack. If you have something to drink, then get something to drink. Thank you, Quack. Do we need to hydrate again now?
And stretch.
And stretch. I'm bad at the stretching. I should probably separate them actually, because I sometimes forget to stretch when there's a hydrate and stretch.
Am I supposed to feel old when my joints are popping?
Well, you're not in your 30s yet, so I think maybe that's a bit early. Although honestly, it's probably early to have your limbs crack when you're in your 30s as well. I mean, our parents' generation probably felt really well and young in their 30s. Yeah. Our generation, not so much.
Nope, we're old now.
Yeah, I'm old. My sister was here the other day. Now we're getting off topic again. But like, and she had her little daughter here with her, and she's like 6 months, and they were sitting on the floor. I'm like, I'm too old to sit on the floor. I'll sit on the couch and then just lean forward. That's better. I can't sit on the floor. And I felt really old.
I can relate to that.
Oh, Emily started the timer. Good job. Thank you.
But still, I take any opportunity to play with a child on a playground.
I mean, yeah, children are amazing. They're so cute.
Yeah.
Floor. Okay, we have some people in chat that like sitting on the floor. This is actually, we could talk about, like, this is something I've had. It's both a neurodivergent thing and a gay thing. Sitting weirdly in places, like not sitting straight up in a chair. Is that, like, I've heard, like, both. Either, like, this is like a meme at this point that that's a gay thing. But it's also a neurodivergent thing, like not being able to sit normally in a chair. Is that something, like, you experience as well? Well, I'm both. Oh my god.
Trying to act innocent because I'm absolutely not sitting weirdly in my chair right now.
How are you sitting in your chair?
I don't know, with either a leg underneath my butt or something. Maybe two. I used to have a lot different ways to sit in a chair when I was younger, but my body won't cooperate the same way anymore. So I don't know how to sit straight up in a chair when I'm home alone.
Oh, I can sit pretty normally in a chair, but I don't think I can sit pretty normally in a couch. Like, and now I'm sitting relatively straight in my chair. That's also because I can't lean back because of my mic, because then I'll be back here and then you can't hear me properly, and that will be different. But I tend to sit like, this is so weird. I can't really sit on my knees, or like I don't know what this is in English. Hook. Crouch is what it's called. I think like crouching, bending my knees too much is bad for my knee. It hurts in my legs and knees, but I can sit straight on my butt with my legs straight forward, and then I can touch my feet with my hands. I can like bend in the middle almost, but that's and I can sit like that at my computer. I have my feet up on a thing under my table, and then I like sit like a U, like a C. It's not good for my back, but that's probably the weirdest way I sit.
I used to be able to do a lot of different positions before. I trained judo, so I had to be able to do certain things back then. But that's half my life ago, I realized. Like, literally half my life ago, like 15 years ago.
Wow.
Wow, that's long.
Yep. When you get closer to 30 and you realize, like, 10 years ago I was an actual person, that's quite a realization. Instead of like you weren't a child 10 years ago.
I can say 20 years ago.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm like, wait, what did I just say? 20?
Yeah.
That's not right.
I've been an adult longer than I've been a child now.
Yeah.
That's also insane to think about.
Yeah.
Now we're getting off topic again. Oh my god. This is getting more and more derailed, but hopefully you guys find it fun at least. If we get too much off topic, you guys are allowed to tell us to like change gear or something, okay?
Well, this is typically something that
I mean, this is
somebody like us should do.
Yeah, I mean, this is we're so interest driven, and like in the moment, this is a thing that happens. And like, honestly, this is something that happens in every my day conversations for me. I start talking about something, and you're like, oh, and then this, and then this, and then like a half an hour to an hour
Yes.
later, then you go back to the original subject. I don't have
Exactly.
straightforward conversations.
Exactly. That sounds just right in my
Yeah.
word.
And this, okay,
Right.
okay, and now I have to ask you, because you said a little bit like you do this too, but interrupting someone when you're having a conversation is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is not. This is such a thing, because to me, the more I interact and interrupt a person, the more engaged with the conversation I am. Because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this makes me remember this, and then I want to add this to the conversation, and then this, and then this,
Yeah.
and then you just jump in constantly. If I go, too much, I mean, I can do that while I'm actually listening to someone tell a story as well and be interested. But as a general rule, the more I interrupt, the better. The more it means I like you and what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And the more quiet I am, which might seem like I'm a good listener, is usually I'm getting a bit bored.
Yeah.
And that's not
Sounds-
something neurotypical people do, because when you interrupt them, they get really upset. And I'm like, no,
That
but
sounds
I mean, this is a
fascinating.
good thing because I'm enjoying what you're talking about. But to them, it's like, you don't care what I'm talking about. You just want to talk about you. But like, no, that's not it.
I really can relate. That's so true. Like, and that really proves that most people actually don't really know what autism is about.
And I think it's ADD as
Um,
well. It's in both of
yeah.
them.
Like any kind of diagnosis, literally. There's
Anything
so
that's
many different
interest-driven.
ways to be. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
like I can still hear what you're saying when I'm adding something quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I can hear what you're saying, but I'm not interested, so I'm not.
No, it's more like, okay, you're saying this, but as I'm saying the thing, I can still hear
Yeah.
the last bit you're saying, so it still registers, and then we continue. It's like,
Yeah.
there's too much you want to add.
I can have a completely normal conversation with somebody, and then that person changes to a subject that I find really boring. Oh, look, there's a rock. I've never seen such an awesome rock before.
Wait, you cut
I
out there
just don't
again.
know-
Sorry, what did you say the last bit?
When I'm in a completely normal conversation, and that person changes subject, and I find that boring. I'm just, oh, look, there's an awesome rock. Like a completely normal rock, and it's like it's more interesting than listening to that subject.
Yeah, I can. I have a tendency to space out when I'm talking to someone sometimes, and then I can be like, and then I realize I haven't been listening for like 2 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, but I've gotten really good at faking it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I keep like, okay, what are you talking about? Just fake it till you make it. And nowadays, I usually tell them, oh, sorry, I spaced out. Can you say again? If it's like someone I know, but like, even to them, I don't say that quite as many. Like, I pretend sometimes that I follow when I don't. And it's not that I don't like what they're talking about. It's just my brain can't choose what I focus on. You
Exactly.
know?
It's not interesting enough for me to focus on.
Yeah.
Like,
My favorite
Royal
thing,
is into something though.
Yeah, my favorite thing is finding someone who vibes with my interests and they're into, and we just food. Yeah. And then
That
you
is
can't
really
stop
good.
talking, and everything just keeps. You just spiral together, and it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Oh my
It
god.
starts with 5 minutes, and then look at the clock. It's like 10 hours later, and we're still talking about the
Yeah,
thing.
and then you have completely like gone to completely different things you were talking about, and then back again, and then to another thing again, and you're like, it's literally like a visual representation that's like, you know,
Yeah.
like you just do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the way it should be,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Also,
Like,
this is something I want to know if more people do than me. If I start talking about something that I really really love, like that ship we were talking about, I can almost feel like I'm shaking. Like I can feel like I'm shaking from the inside because I want to talk about it so much, and then I have to hold myself back because no one else is as interested as I am. So I have to like, okay, calm down, talk about it a normal amount. But inside I'm like vibrating because I want to talk about it so much. And it's been like that with different subjects throughout my life. Is that just me, or anyone else feel that urge to just talk about what you love so much that you just, it's difficult to hold yourself back, you know? It's just me? No?
But what is okay, I dropped my words.
It's okay. Start over, or if you say them in Swedish.
Like I can really relate to what you're saying.
But you didn't have that much ADD, ADHD, right?
Not what I know on
No,
paper.
and I think it's definitely more of an ADHD thing.
Yeah.
The hyperness.
Yes, I can definitely have those times, but I haven't really cared about finding out if and have it on a paper. If I have
Sorry, you
it
cut
on
out
so
again. I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
I'm really not having the energy to care about to finding out if I have ADHD as well, because to me it's not important to have it on paper. If I have it, then so be it. It's still me, and I'm working quite well the way I do. I have found my ways to go around. I really don't feel like adding more to a paper that could like be bad later on, because you're not allowed to have some specific works or jobs you have any kind of diagnosis.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I could go and find it out or not, but I feel like no, I might be doing something bad for myself.
I think the difference between having a diagnosis and not is like, if this diagnosis causes a lot of problems in your life, and by having a diagnosis you can get access to help, then yes, you should get a diagnosis 100%. But if it's not that big of a problem in your life, and you might not get access to any extra help, or in that case, like it might limit you, then no, you don't need that. And you can still relate to it and still feel like, yeah, I probably have this, and that's valid, you know?
Yeah. I might or might not. I really don't care if I have it or not, because
I mean, and
I have already
a lot of things
found
like
my
bleed
way.
together, so you can still relate, you know?
I found my ways to work with myself. I really don't feel like I need more of it right now. If I change my mind later on, that still might be it. But the way it looks like now in Sweden, with how they see on diagnosis in some kind of places, it's just now that they are trying you individually if you want to become a police in Sweden. You weren't allowed to be that before. You can't drive a train in Sweden if you have autism or
Really?
something
Why?
like that. No, you can't.
But
You can't drive a train. You can't go to a train.
why?
Because I don't know.
That
but
makes no sense.
I looked it up a while ago when I were
Why
looking for
train
something
specifically?
like SJ. No.
Huh.
Like any
Drive
local
what train?
Yeah. Well, I was looking it up because I was looking for something that might catch
But
my eye.
isn't that like a
would
very
be
stereotypical thing? People have the special interests. Shouldn't they want
Probably.
someone that loves trains to drive a train?
And it's not that long
Like,
ago
I can't
that
see why having autism would hinder someone in driving a train.
exactly.
I can
It's
see,
not-
like, I understand some part of like concerns in some areas with having
Yeah.
certain diagnoses, like especially like with like for me, I have a lot of memory problems because of it. So I can understand in jobs where it's very important to remember things correctly and not forget, then that would be a hindrance. Like my brother's a nurse, and if he cannot forget who has to have what medicine. He could kill someone if he gets that wrong. So in that, I would never dare to work like something like that. So I do understand in some areas where they would be careful, but it's so individual what you struggle with So shouldn't they at least like
Exactly.
see who the person is and what they struggle with first?
They
would
should,
think.
but I haven't come to that yet. The police has just started with that. They're trying you individually to see if
That's
you
good.
pass,
I mean,
if you
because
can
that
work
could
with
be
it.
a real strength for that as well,
Yeah,
couldn't it?
you couldn't have ADHD and work as a police before, but now they are trying you individually, and I find that's really good.
Yeah,
It
that's
has been
good.
like that for maybe a year or two, so it's quite new.
Okay.
But there's still a lot
Maybe
of
it's because it's more
jobs
of
that,
awareness of it now.
yeah, it can even be a hindrance if you want to take a driver lessons when you have autism, because it's not always the way that you are allowed to do it
Huh.
if you have a kind of diagnosis,
I
because
didn't know
that might
that.
also
I'm
cause a
planning to
problem.
take a driver's license relatively soon. We'll see how that
Yeah,
goes. I'll keep you informed if they prevent me from it or not. I do admit, like, I have a hard time. I had a very hard time learning to drive when I started
yeah,
to be able to drive, which is why I haven't taken one yet. But that's because I lost
yeah.
interest mostly,
They
and
have
because
been
I'm a slow
changing the
learner.
rules and such. I don't know if it's still active, but when I was 18, you had to go through a couple of stuff before you could even try
Wow.
for a driver's
I
license.
hope that
So
gets better the more understanding there is about these stuff, because
yeah,
it is so individual. It's not like, okay, you have bad eyesight and you can't see the road properly
yeah,
or details. That I get, because that's a very specific thing.
yeah,
And again, with like my memory issues, I get that I'm definitely not suited for certain jobs, and that's fair. But that's like, you can't just say anyone with my diagnosis shouldn't work with that, because like, I have the memory issues, you clearly don't. And we have similar
exactly.
diagnosis, right? So
Yeah.
it's too individual to do that. That's not fair. I hope it changes.
I think it's the same issue if you want to join the military in Sweden. You're not allowed to if you
Oh,
have
well, maybe then I
this
can get out of it,
diagnosis
because I
either.
never would want to.
Well, I am working with civil defenses instead because I found an organization that doesn't care about that. They just see you as a help. You
A
get to
what?
work with what
See you as a...
civil defense.
No, you said
Like,
they see you as...
oh, they see you as a person.
Oh,
They don't give you anything to work with that you cannot handle. Like, if you can milk a cow, then yes, that's perfect, because then you might be able to do something if there's any kind of crises or wars coming to Sweden. Then they will place you at a farm with the cows because you can milk them. You can handle a cow, and that is a good sources for Sweden. And if you can't do that, then you will have another thing to do.
I mean,
And that's pretty much what I want to do. I don't want to sit at home if something happens. I want to do something.
yeah, that's one of those situations where my freeze response is not going to help
Yeah,
anyone. I would just have a panic attack and die, probably. I would not survive in a war. Like on the battlefield, I would be fucking screwed. Maybe as a sniper really, really far away.
yeah.
Maybe. But that's
I
it.
wouldn't. I wouldn't be scared for myself. I would just be scared for my family and the people that I love.
For me, it's
I
more
I'm
not...
not afraid to defend the ones that I love, but I'm really bad at defending myself.
Yeah, for me, it's not scared. For me, it's like my brain have a very hard time making quick decisions,
Yeah,
and like I have like a million possibilities going through my head, and it's like trying to push 10 people through the same door. It gets stuck, and then I can't act, and that's probably what's gonna kill me. I'll be there and like, do I go there, what, huh, and then poof, I'm dead. That's like,
um,
it's not that I'm scared. It's not like I wouldn't want. It's just like my brain cannot make the decisions that
yeah.
quickly that's needed in that situation. Just no. I'm
Though that
too
could
I take too
be
long to think.
that could be where you could use your experience from Minecraft in that,
And do
because you know how
what? Build a shelter, a
quickly
dirt
when
hut.
when you see a zombie, you know how to act,
Have you
right?
seen me react to scary things in games? It doesn't go well.
I have seen certain games, but not in Minecraft.
Yeah, I
haven't
don't
seen
stream a lot
you
on
fighting
Minecraft.
around zombies.
But I panic. I run away and then I get all shaky. My hands get all shaky, so I can't click the right things, and it just goes badly. That's why I always have a bow with me, because then I can take my
Yeah.
time from a distance. Like I said, sniper, possibly. That's
Yeah.
it.
You
For
see, you
anyone
can do
joining the
something.
stream now, this is probably gonna sound really weird. We're just talking about how we would survive in a war.
We wouldn't.
No. No, I think no, I don't think they'd want me, honestly. Also my
No.
physical like stamina is fucking shit. I wouldn't pass any of their tests. Not even
But
close. I get
can still do
exhausted
other
walking to the
things.
bus.
No. You can always do other things.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
guess.
have
I can do
you
I was
have
gonna
to
say I can
use
do
a
paperwork, but
gun.
I can't. I'm dyslexic.
You can do something.
I can be a
But not everything.
cheerleader and be like, you can do it, I believe in you guys.
Exactly. And nobody can do everything, but everyone can do something. And if we do it together,
I can
we
follow
can do everything.
recipes, I can cook and provide food.
And that's probably what you would be having to do if there's ever a war.
We're
in
just
Sweden.
planning in case Sweden never gets
Yeah.
invaded.
Well,
I'm just gonna pray that doesn't
that's right.
happen. Sweden do not have enough military power to survive that.
No, we don't want war. I want the landscapes the way they are. I don't want them destroyed.
No. We also got really off topic there. I'm sorry, guys. We didn't mean to talk
Yeah.
about. I even have a rule to not talk about. I mean, this isn't technically politics, but it's getting there, and we shouldn't talk about that.
Let's change
This can
to
be very
something
sensitive
else.
subjects to people, so I try to stay
Yes.
away from it. Also, I'm trying. I definitely missed chat now a little bit. I just want to see if anyone had a question or not. Do we govern its secrets? No. We are not Swedish spies. No. Wait. Give the man a plate so you put egg on. No. He puts the egg on my head all the time. That's the best he gets.
At least I don't have it on my head.
Yeah, I try to, but the problem is like you're in front of anything VTube Studios, so it goes behind you.
I guess
That's because Alex is in VTube Studio, two different sources. So yeah, for me in VTube Studio, I'm just sitting next to an empty chair with an egg.
Yeah.
It's just on stream that it looks like I have company.
Well, I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Yeah, maybe you're just a figment of my imagination.
That's just me.
What were we even talking about before we got talking about how we would survive in a war?
I forgot. Might as well go for next topic.
Maybe. Also, hydrogen stretch. Thank you, Quack.
If we forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea how we got into that.
That's
Wait, we were
easy.
talking about jobs and stuff like that
Yeah.
with having a diagnosis, right? Okay, do I have anything else on the list? So I don't think I have much. We have talked about sensory issues quite extensively. We have talked about stimming a little bit. We have talked about special interests and you know how you want to talk about it and stuff like that. We have talked about change in routine a little bit. We could talk a little bit more about that, I guess, because we haven't talked too much about it. But at the same time, we are at the 3-hour mark, and we did say we weren't going to stream for too long. So maybe, because we also talked about social interactions, we move on to the last topic, which is any tips and tricks that we could share with people. And do anyone in chat have anything specific that has helped them to navigate difficult tasks in their life? I guess that's a good thing to wrap things up with.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Okay, good. So do you want to start? Do you have anything you struggle with specifically? And have you found any way to... Hi, Tilly, she's on my chat now. She wants to join. And any ways you've learned to like overcome that or work around it and so on?
Well, I used to struggle with going to school before, but when I started last year, the fall, I just put my mind into I'm going to make this. I'm going to succeed. I guess it works pretty well. Just put your mind into what you want to do, and don't let it go.
Positive inställning. In
Yeah,
English.
positive thoughts,
Positive
no
attitude.
negative thoughts.
Honestly, like positive reinforcements work really well on me. Like you hype me
Yeah.
up enough about something, and I'll be yeah. It really helps.
Yeah, staying positive. That's my advice. Stay positive. Don't let your diagnosis be your hindrance. Don't let it stand in the way. It's not the diagnosis that are a boss. It's you. You're the boss.
I could do it.
Just use the diagnosis.
I will
Use
try.
it for your advantage.
I will try. It's just I've tried. I think I have a lot of bad experiences with that because I have tried to do a lot of things in my life and I failed many times. And at some point, I just like, I know how this is gonna end. I've given up a little bit. Like I've tried to do this and I tried to do this and I tried to, and it's just like I can keep a routine for like 2 weeks. That's it. I can keep a change
if
for
it
like 2 weeks
fails,
and that's it. And thank you for the headpads. And I tried to do this and this and like I tried to study Japanese once and I failed and then I took the course again and I passed it, but like especially with studying has always been such an immense struggle for me that it's not worth the energy anymore.
but
But
if it fails, then it wasn't the right thing for you.
yeah, that's what I'm
You
thinking.
just haven't
Like,
found it.
I'm thinking maybe neurodivergent things because it has kind of become a special interest. I'm not gonna lie, and interest it helps. So
Yeah.
maybe, especially since I know
I,
myself better now than I ever have. So maybe
I have been
someday.
trying quite a lot of different things in my life so far, and it takes time to find what you really want to do. Just try everything
Try
until you
everything.
find what you like and
Yeah,
what you
it's
can
just
do.
like for me, it's like it takes a lot of energy, and if the odds aren't in my favor for it to lead to anywhere, I'd rather
Yeah,
save the energy. That's usually
I
how
get
I
what you
think.
mean,
Which probably isn't the
but
best way to
still,
think, but I've gotten stuck in it. It's difficult to change.
I'm using everything I try to get the life experience. Everything I try and learn, it's good. I can use it
Yeah.
later on.
Like I
You
don't
never
think
know.
I've voluntarily. I think that's also the thing because I haven't done a lot of voluntarily changes in my life. The changes that have happened have kind of been thrown at me, and they haven't been positive. So I think that's also why I'm wary of change because I honestly can't. I can remember like one change that I made actively on my own that was positive. The rest have been like has turned into struggles I've had to overcome instead. So
Yeah.
I think personally I've just had a lot of bad experiences with trying new things. But maybe I am at a stage in my life soon, maybe not yet, but in the future to maybe start to change that someday.
It just takes time, you know.
It takes time. Well, I do have a lot of that.
You don't have to hurry. You have time.
Well, as time
You are
itself, I should be
time.
able to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to hurry. You have a long life ahead of you.
Yeah, that's also something you start to realize when you get a little older. Like, you don't
Yeah.
have to have your life figured out at 30. You can have it
Exactly.
figured out at 70. That's still okay.
I have an old friend. He's about 80 years old. Once he told me what he did in his life, then I was like, I don't need to stress.
No.
I
And,
have
like, didn't
time. I
Tolkien
have a
start
life.
writing The Lord of the Rings in his 40s or something?
Yeah,
Like, we don't need to stress. It's fine.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you look at the age, how we live today and this generation, well, you're still young until you reach at least 70 years old. Then you're old.
Yeah, like
And
30s was old like 200 years ago. Now it's like
yeah,
what like 16 used to be.
30 is the new 20.
Yeah,
I heard.
kind of. So that's good
So
at least.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know that I would, I wouldn't probably be able to stop working with something in my life.
Sorry, you cut out
I
again.
wouldn't
I'm sorry. What
be,
did you say?
I would probably wouldn't be able to stop working with what I love when I get old. I will probably keep working
That's
until
why
I
we're different.
can.
I like, sure, if I find something I absolutely love, then yeah, I could probably work for a long time. But
Yeah,
no, I'd wanna have a lot of years where I don't have to do something unless I wanted to. And
yeah.
when I'm old, that's my dream.
I've just learned during the COVID pandemic when I was home for 6 months. I had nowhere to go. I had no job. I had nothing to do. I was home. I was like the first week. Oh, I can sleep. I can rest. And then I was like, I'm bored. I need to do something. So I learned a young person actually needs some kind of activity to do, some kind of job
Yeah, but
to
activity
stay.
and jobs are not the same, is they? Are they? Because like I can
Yeah,
have activities like streaming is an activity, spending time with my
yeah,
family is an activity. I do kind of want to go on like an art class or something. That would be fun, but it costs money, so it's not really
yeah.
viable right now. But in the future, I think I want to do that. But like having a job that you have to do to survive, that's
That's
that was. Also, hi Blue, I did City, hello, and the yay, thank you so much, welcome. And I
I
also
only
saw that Quack
realized.
is out of time. So do
Yeah,
we all
not
need?
too bad, Quack.
Are we all going to Quack away? You need to go to bed now. Bye
Let's
bye.
sleep.
It was lovely having you here. I hope you have lovely dreams and sleep well. Bye bye. And
See
if
you
I see
next
you in chat
time,
again, I
Quack.
will be disappointed. No, I could never be disappointed, but I will shush you away. Away with you, with ye Quack. To bed. Exactly.
Yes.
Hi, time. Miss you. Oh, miss you too, Bluey. Welcome. We are talking about neurodivergent things today. We are at the end of it, though, at the more tips and tricks point of it. But this is basically the best part, isn't it? So, welcome.
Yeah.
I bet that guy won't sleep. Ark, I wouldn't trust with actually sleeping when going, but if Quack actually leaves, I do believe he will go to bed. I trust you.
At Emily's King, you're the best. Kisses, heart, heart, heart.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that was for Emily. Never mind then. Go to bed. Quack, go to bed. Quack, go to bed.
Go
Thank
to
you for streaming. It
sleep,
was
Quack.
fun listening to you talk, and thank you for making this talk show happen. Have fun, everyone, and stay comfy. Thank you for being here, and thank you for enjoying it. I hope the rest of you have been enjoying it as well. I know we've been very talkative. I hope that's a good thing. So you don't think we're just yapping away. And I hope
Who
there's been
knows?
some sort of structure to it and informative in least in some ways.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, my best advice for changes and stuff is try to stay positive.
My
That's
advice for change is visualize it first, research it because that makes it less scary because then you know more about it, and then you can approach it. That's usually how I do because I can't just do something. I have to like, okay, the more I know about something, the less scary it is, and the more likely it is I'll do it.
yeah, that makes sense though.
That's my process at least. It seems like if I'm going somewhere I've never been, then I look at the map and I look at how to get there. I don't have a car, so I look at bus stops close to it and then how I would walk and how long that would take and when I would then have to take. Like, I have a system with things and it helps. It's a bit of a process, but like knowing more about something makes it less scary. And then you are more able to push yourself to do it.
Yeah, I'm always looking stuff up if there's something that I want to do. But then I also tell myself all changes are not bad. They are good changes.
Yeah,
And
I
try to
need to tell
focus on the
myself that
good ones.
more.
Yeah, don't focus on the bad ones because they will just be in the past. We can't do anything about that. But
Yeah.
we can enjoy the positive changes. Like from a rainy day to a sunny day, that's a good change.
You're so positive. I wish I was that positive. I hope it's
I
contagious.
learned. I had to learn the hard way to become.
Yeah. I guess I mean, I am. I'm also like one of those people that tell other people to be positive. I guess I'm just a little bit hard on myself, and I'll work on that. I promise.
I will teach you all that I know.
Thank you. I will trust you.
Yay.
Also, I'm reading a bit of the things chat said now. Starting things is always the hardest part for me. I agree. That is so true. So, enabling yourself to start things you normally struggle with, like brushing your teeth while you're already in the bathroom, doing dishes while you're at the sink, like that can happen. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, like same. Like I've realized that you don't have to brush your teeth the last thing you do before going to bed or the first thing you do in the morning, as long as you at least do it once a day. I mean, I know that's less than you should do, but it's better than not doing it at all. It's like, if you just, oh, I need to brush my teeth sometime today, then just do it then, when the thought pops up in your head, you know? Same with, like, you say, like,
Advice?
just do the dishes while you're there. Or, like, just, like, now, thank God, I have a washing machine. But before that, just like, okay, I'll just do the glasses. And then when you've started, then it's easier. So like try to fool yourself into thinking you'll do a task that's smaller than the one you actually need to do, and then maybe because you've already started, you will continue. So like, okay, you have a lot of dishes to do. Do one glass. And then while you're there, it's very easy to just continue because then you're in a rhythm. It has worked for me. On occasion in the past, might work for others. So that was a very good tip. Like just do it while you're there when the idea pops up in your head, you know? Because starting is difficult.
I will take that advice with me.
Mm-hmm.
Actually.
Yeah, also another thing I heard about cleaning is that it's easy to get sidetracked. But like you find something that goes to another room and then you leave the room you're supposed to clean. Just put everything that's not supposed to go to the room, supposed to go to another room, at the door to the other room. Just put it on the floor, right by the door. And then you leave it for later. Or you can have different boxes in every room for items that don't belong there. And then you'll have all the miscellaneous items in one place in every room. And then when you feel like sorting it, you can sort it, but it won't be scattered everywhere. That's also something I've not really adapted very well, but I heard it works for others. So that could be something.
Might have to write that down actually because that's so pretty smart.
I can't remember. There's a girl on YouTube who does a lot of good tips for ADHD. But I can't remember her name now. If I do remember her name, I will post it in my Discord for you guys so you can check her out because she's actually really good. A FleshTuber, of course, not a VTuber like us, but. She does a lot of good pointers, and I watch a lot of her videos, but I just can't remember her name right now. So if I do remember that, I'll post it on the Discord, okay?
A good way for me to start cleaning or doing my dishes is to put on the music that I really enjoy at the moment that will give me the positive vibes.
Yeah,
and the positive energy.
I have a playlist that's called Let's Do Things that I usually have if I need to get things done because it's very like energetic and gets me happy and makes you I can do more things.
I have a playlist that I call Motivation. I change the music after what I'm listening to, what I know will bring me the energy to really or stimulate me to do what I'm supposed to do. Keep me focused.
Sorry, I was drinking. I couldn't hear everything you said. I'm sorry.
I say that I have a playlist on Spotify that
I
I call
heard, but
Motivation.
after that.
I update that playlist from time to time when I have a new song that I'm enjoying more than the others. If I grow bored of a song, I will just switch it out for another.
Yeah, I can hyper-focus on songs and listen to the same song for many hours, and then I get bored. But I'm very mood-driven when it comes to music.
That's so me. I can listen to one single song, and that one song might be that song that will make me clean the whole house. And not that I have that many rooms. I only have one room at the moment and a bathroom.
And that can be enough of a struggle sometimes.
Yeah.
For me, it's also it's not really about how much needs to be cleaned. It's just having to stop what I'm doing to start a different task is very difficult. That's why when I get home, if I need to cook that day, I do not do anything. I will take off my shoes and go directly to the kitchen and start cooking. I will not go to the bathroom. I will not sit down. I will not do anything. I will go straight from my door, off with my shoes, into the kitchen and start cooking, because that's the only way I'll get it done, because then I'm already moving. Because really, like, interrupting a task to start another one is very difficult for me.
Last week I started on cleaning at least half of my mess in my room. I was like, wow, at least I did this. The next step is to put away the clean clothes that I haven't put away.
The last word you said I cut out.
The last thing that I need to do is to put away the clean clothes and vacuum my room, and then it's clean.
Oh, that's good though. It's not much left.
At least I did half of the work.
Yeah, and as Rex has said there, doing something poorly is most of the time better than not doing it at all, and that is so true.
Yeah.
I also have that with like brushing my teeth. It's like, it's better if I just at least put the toothbrush in my mouth, you know? That's better than not doing it at all. And once I'm there, I usually brush my teeth, but like I have to convince myself it doesn't have to be perfect. Just do something.
Just do something.
So that's a really good advice as well. Just you doing it poorly is better than not doing it, you know? Because then at least you did something.
Just doing it a little bit is better than nothing. Better to do the one small thing than a big thing and then not have any energy left for the rest of the things.
For me, it's a lot about getting the ball rolling. So then, like, if you just start something a little bit, then it's easier to continue doing something more. Or in my case, like, I know that this is not an option everywhere, but like actually trying to get outside help. Like, I have these assistants that come and help me, and that has changed my life. Like, I actually cook proper food at least once a week instead of just throwing something together or eating sandwiches, which has helped my diet a lot because I've been eating a lot of unhealthy things. So I get a lot more varied diet. I get a lot more like good things that I should be eating because they're here when I cook. So if you have that like option where you live, like, I know some people, like, I've heard of people that don't want to do this because they will feel more handicapped than they are. But like, imagine this. You know all those rich people in the world? They have personal assistants that manage their entire fucking life. Why shouldn't you have an assistant that help you out? You know?
Exactly.
It's not about, you know, it's about taking advantages of the things you can have to make your life simpler, okay? It is not about being handicapped or not being able to do things. It's about enjoying life a little bit more and removing obstacles. So I would suggest that if that is an option where you live.
From a personal experience, I used to have a very hard time to ask for help with something. But then I learned it's not a bad thing to ask for help. If you need help with a little something, just ask.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah,
You're not less of a person because you ask for help. You're stronger because you ask for help.
Yeah.
That makes you strong.
Yeah, just because, like, it's one thing I've said to some people is like, your flaws don't go away because you ignore them. They go away because you admit them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, and I mean, they're not actually flaws, but you know how you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get out of the situation you're in by denying it. So instead, make active choices to change it to what you want it to be.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make you, just because you need a little help, doesn't make you less than anyone else. Again, like rich people that probably don't need anybody has assistants organizing their entire life. Okay? So why shouldn't I? It's only fair.
People have people cooking and cleaning for them. And there's probably rich people have someone to wipe their butts.
Yeah,
probably.
I mean they have help with like their entire home. Why shouldn't you? Right? If you have that opportunity. I'm not saying spend all your money on things, but like I know in Sweden it's called bostad in Swedish, which means like assistant living, I guess. Yeah, and it is free for people in Sweden. So if you are from Sweden, that's a very good thing to look into. Just to go to like I think it's the like kommun in English.
Region?
Yeah, like the ones organizing your city. You should be able to find it, I think, with a bit of Googling. But if you have something like that, that's a good help. And just like
Yeah.
this, like we're doing now, just talk to other people that have similar issues, because they might have figured out something that works for them, that could work for you, or they know something that didn't work for them but could work for you.
Yeah.
So that's always a good, like, just ask around for help, I guess.
People with the same diagnosis tend to be happy to help each other out. If you have like Facebook or something, there's a huge there's a lot of groups you can join on social media everywhere
Mm-hmm.
with the specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you have like autism, there's groups for autism. If you have ADHD, there's groups for that. You have ADD, there's groups for that.
Mm-hmm.
Join one of those, because then you will be talking to people that has the same diagnosis that like you have,
Mm-hmm.
and you can share what you are struggling with. Someone will give you some ideas and maybe help you. Maybe they have a solution even. You just
Yeah.
have to ask sometimes.
And they'll understand, and they won't just be like, well, you should be able to fix this. They will be like, okay, I understand your struggle, let's find a way to fix it instead, which is always helpful.
And they won't judge.
Yeah, which is
They
honestly,
won't
that
judge you.
could be the first step in fixing something.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, this isn't my fault, so then it's easier to do because you don't feel guilty about it. At least that I felt with a lot of things, like brushing my teeth is to have been difficult in the past, but then I admitted that it was a problem, and I found that children toothpaste help, and then now it's a lot easier. Things like that.
Yeah. They should make better taste adult toothpaste. That doesn't taste mint.
Sorry, the last bit cut out again, or my ears are stopped working.
They should make a toothpaste for adults that doesn't only taste like mint.
Yeah, they should, like fruity ones. I would love that.
Yeah.
It's just been
I
so
haven't played on
generalized.
that.
I also know a lot of people struggle with showering,
Yeah.
because of sensory issues and stuff like that. And I know that I saw some tips about that from the person I was talking about before. So if I do find that, I will link that video, because she had a lot of good pointers about like how to help with the shower. And I think that could be helpful for a lot of people, because it's like, in this day and age, it's very shameful to not shower often, even if you don't smell, or even if you don't see it. Like, you can't tell people like you shower like not regularly, well, as long as you're like, the whole worst things, they're not showering. There are worse things to do in life, but that's a very shameful thing a lot of the time in a lot of societies. So having some tips to get around that, to make yourself feel more comfortable, can always help.
I know that for some people, taking a shower hurts them.
Yeah.
It's like hurting. Some people doesn't like when somebody touches them at all, because it hurts.
Yeah, they like have super sensitive skin.
Yeah. There's even people that have some sensitivity against clothes. They can wear any specific clothes, or just can only wear sweatpants and t-shirts.
Yeah.
Because everything else hurts.
Yeah.
And that's completely fine.
Yeah.
That way. And there is ways to work with it. You just have to find what works for you.
Exactly.
And that's the hardest part, but there is a solution. But you just have to find what works for you. And don't listen to anybody else that's literally saying that you're not good enough, because don't listen to that. My ex-stepmother used to tell me that I was never good enough. But I had to relearn that I am good enough. I don't have to be perfect. And that's what I'm telling myself in school. I don't have to get the perfect grades. I just want to pass. I just want it to be good enough.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm focused on.
Just do your best.
First.
And that's good. That's like
the
best.
Yeah, just be good enough. Be yourself.
Yeah, and this is so cliche, but don't compare yourself to other people, because everybody has different struggles and start out in different places. So it's like comparing a fish to a bird. It's just that's just, don't compare yourself to others. If you have to compare, then see how you've improved over the years, because I bet you have. And then imagine how far you could go if you just believe in yourself, as Alice likes to say.
Yeah.
Because you're
Just
so
stay
positive.
positive.
Yeah.
You're good enough the way you are.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
And
And as I've said many
who
times,
wants to be like anybody else?
exactly,
I don't.
like I said, normal is boring. Be unique, be different.
Yeah.
Humanity wouldn't have gotten here today if we hadn't been unique.
Exactly.
Think outside
Everybody
the box.
else.
Be a rebel.
There's people. There is already people who are trying to be like anybody else. Let them be that way, because they take care of that problem for you. Just do you. Do what you want to do.
Also,
And be yourself. And if that's not enough for the people you are around with, then that's not the people you should be with.
exactly.
Be with people who wants you for you, and not the other way around.
Yeah. It's one thing
If they can't accept
accommodating
you,
your
then
friends if they have sensitivities, because you should all be, you should care about your friends. It's another thing to change who you are to be with people. That's not the same. That's a very important distinction. It's one thing including people and being like aware of people's limits and things, the same way they should be of yours. But it is a two-way street, and if someone demands things of you, or you feel like you have to be someone you're not with people, those are not your people. You should be able to be yourself.
If they can't accept you for you being you, then they're not worth wasting your time on.
There are
Don't
more
waste
people in
time
the
on
world.
bad people. That's not good for you. Waste your time on people that loves you for you.
And honestly, into this day and age, it's so easy to make new people. Like, maybe not in the world, because people are a bit isolated, but like, you can find so many, like, most of my friends I've found online first and then in real life. So like, just seek out communities where you feel like you're accepted. And people get you, because that means so much to be like, oh, you know what it's like. That feeling is amazing. And everybody deserves that feeling.
And that's the one good platform to find that kind of community. Go to a Twitch channel, and maybe you find a perfect streamer who accepts you for being you, and then you find the community that the streamer are having, and you just get accepted into that from literally out of nowhere. Just one of them in 1 second. That's the place to stay at. That's what I am looking for when I'm looking at a streamer that I've never seen before. If I feel welcome or not, and that's what makes my decision to stay or not. If I feel welcome, then I stay. I will probably come back because I was welcome here. I like how the atmosphere was, and that's kind of important.
Agreed. Also, Emily says, "What the hell is normal?" Which is yes, that is a good
question.
That is a very good question. I agree with you.
Being normal is being yourself.
Yeah, this should be, right?
If we are to use an opinion, be yourself. That's normal.
Yep.
If you dare to be yourself and show who you are, then that's normal. If you try to be like anybody else, then that's not normal, I guess.
Sorry, you cut out the last bit again. Or I think probably at this point it's probably my ears.
Yeah. Well, if you try to be like anybody else, then I don't think that's normal. Really.
No. And the only way to, like, I think my best friends are those where they've seen the real me. You know? That's how you get the good friends. And as someone that didn't have a lot of friends in the past, I know it's a struggle to get that, but I do believe everybody can get that. Especially if you
find them.
Yeah. And you know what? If you need a place where you feel like you can be you here, and you can be you here, you here. That's not how you say it. You with Alex. Yeah. This is a good starting point. There's a lot of good people here.
Yeah. And I don't care about what anybody looks like, what color they have on their skin, or what they have for a belief. I see a human, nothing else. A human is a human.
I agree.
Everybody is worth exactly the same.
Yeah. Agreed.
We're here together. We are adults, most of us. and we're
Well,
supposed to act
everybody
like
should be
adults.
adults since I do have an 18 plus rating.
Yeah. Well, an adult is supposed to be able to solve problems and be friendly with each other. That's what we are trying to teach our children. That's the way we should act.
Yes, I agree.
And both Time and I, we want everybody to feel safe.
Yes, and to be themselves and be comfortable, and
Yeah.
oh, I clicked something. I'm fine. We're good. We're good. Yeah. And this, I'm being cheesy now. I've said this before, but I've been so lucky. Like everybody I've met through streaming have been such amazing, kind, sweet, supportive people, and yeah, I think both, like same with your people, Alex. I think it's a really good bunch of people.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I couldn't
Really?
hear you again. I think definitely my ears are giving up. I'm sorry.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, that's good. Maybe that's a good point to end it with. Before we start
Yeah.
talking for another hour about something. Does anyone have anything they want to add before we round things off? Alex, chat, what do you guys
Yeah.
think? Anything you want to add before we round off?
Or if you want another stream like this, just
I'm
let us
planning to do
know.
more of this, and I definitely want you here another time, Alex. This was fun.
I would be honored.
And it feels like we could talk about this a long
Yeah.
time.
Maybe not a 12-hour long stream.
No, maybe not. Then my voice will go away. This is almost 4 hours now, so we said like maybe 2 to 3 hours would be good.
Yeah.
And we also said we would take a break, which we did not.
And then we ended up here.
Yep. But yeah, I definitely want to make the talk show a regular occurrence with Alex again and different guests, other streamers that I know and friends that aren't streamers. But this is gonna sound mean, and I don't mean it like that, but don't reach out to me about that, because I'm going to get overwhelmed. If you're interested, you can just hype it up in chat and I'll reach out to you if that's the case. Otherwise, I am going to get overwhelmed, and then it probably won't happen. And that's not to be mean to anyone. That's just to simplify things, okay? I hope you understand what I mean. Now I'm scared that I insulted everybody. But yeah, express interest in chat, and then we can talk about it in the future. Because I think this could be fun.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, can see. Did someone else in chat say something that we should address? I don't think anyone added anyone. Time is completely from each one. Okay, thank you. I always get worried when I say things like that. I'm not very good at setting up boundaries for myself, but I'm trying. And I know that if I said like, oh, you can contact me whenever about this, I am going to get overwhelmed. Especially if a lot of people do. It might be fine if just one or two does, but I don't. I just want to be on the safe side, and I'm gonna drop it now before I start babbling about it and get even more nervous. But thank you, and yeah, I definitely want to do more of this. This was fun. Thank you so much for coming here with me, Alex, and hyping this up with me and helping me do the questionnaires and being here, just being here, coming here to my channel. I'm gonna
Thank you
give
for
you. I
having
didn't
me.
do it in the beginning, and I'm so sorry. I completely forgot about it.
It's fine.
I can't spell shout out.
But thank you for having me, though.
Of course,
a nice
it was so
time.
much fun.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of stuff in common, and the things we don't have in common, I feel like they like I think we can learn from each other. Like you being so positive, I should definitely try to adapt some of that into my life.
Well, I've been learning a lot from you as well, so.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's good. And we do hope that chat learned some things as well, and we definitely learned some things from you, from what you guys have been writing, because we have been reading it, even though we haven't written it out loud. And I'll probably rewatch this and read what you guys even more in detail to take it all in properly. Because I love hearing people's opinions on this subject. Like how people are similar and different. It's fascinating to me how people work.
It's a fun topic.
it's a
to
fun,
see what we have some familiar or similar with each other.
yeah.
It's quite interesting to see that we share a lot of things together, with both people in chat and literally anyone.
Yeah. Also, I know I've been talking like everybody here is neurodivergent. We probably had several neurotypical people in chat, and we love you too. Even though I've been talking like them and us. I hope you don't feel alienated. That wasn't the point.
We love everybody the same.
Exactly.
Even if you have a tail or
Or
cat
ears.
ears,
I almost said or ears. I meant horns. My brain
or
is.
cat
I don't
ears, or
usually stream for 4
anything.
hours anymore. My brain has gone poof. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna quickly check if there's anyone we can raid, and then I think we can round off. What do you think, Alex?
That sounds like a good plan.
Oh, look at this, Lowen streaming.
Let's head over there.
Yes, I haven't raided Lowen in a while. Oh, they're doing a collab with someone. Oh, mean reading. Katera Kaolin.
Oh, I know this one.
Very cool model. Like black and white kind of.
Yeah.
And they're doing something with color and painting, which is very interesting. Hopefully that will be chill, and you guys will enjoy that as well. Lowen is a lovely person. Oh my god, my voice is definitely going now. Next time we do this, let's not go for 4 hours, okay?
You need a raid message.
I do, thank you. Oh, but we should have one that's like both of us. What do you usually say when you're rating someone?
I'm just saying the chaos potatoes has arrived, but
We'll say clocking with chaos potatoes then.
clocking with potatoes or clocking potatoes.
Clocking in with chaos potatoes. That's not how you spell it. And then we'll do some little dancing, guys. Okay, this is a special one today because this is a special stream.
Yeah.
Oh no, I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, I think we're fine. Yes, we're fine. There we go. No, I clicked the wrong thing again. What's wrong with me? I'm tired. That's what's wrong with me.
Yes. We went over time, so.
Yeah. Please copy this raid message. It's a different one than normally. And then we can send that over to Lowen and send them a bunch of love because they're very sweet and a very chill streamer. I love them. They're really chill.
Yeah.
Okay. I also need to start the raid. Oh yeah, my brain is not braining anymore. Low. How do you spell low? N. That's how you spell it. Okay. I think we're good to go now. How do you usually say goodbye to your potatoes?
I'm just usually just telling everybody to have a good time and to take care and have a nice time at the person we are rating.
Sounds like good. And
yeah,
that's a good one. And I'll say as always that I hope you have a nice evening, whatever it is where you're at. And hopefully we'll see you all soon. So say bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. See you somewhere.
Bye.